Yo, what's going on? This is the youngest in charge, Leon Slater, and you're listening to the Sports Jedi Network. You get me?
You're watching Jedi Sports Network with Kev.
I'm Tom Hannafin from TNA Wrestling. You're watching the Jedi Sports Network.
Tune in to Heel of the Ring podcast on the Sports Jedi Network channel. May the sports be with you.
What's up, Kevin? It's me, Miles Bourne. I just wanted to come on here real quick and say thank you for your support. I really appreciate it, and the fact that you're there every Tuesday really means a lot to me.
Hey guys, this is Elena Black, and you are watching Sports Jedi Network.
This is AJ Francis, and you're with Sports Jedi Network.
What's going on, everyone? Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Sports Jedi Network Weekly Wrestling, where the show where we're talking about every one of your things, the news and notes, current events on the week of professional wrestling, whereas All Elite Wrestling's got their pay-per-view coming up. We'll talk about Redemption. We've got all about Dynamite. We got WWE Raw and SmackDown coverage. NXT, Mike Santana has arrived to the NXT brand, some TNA wrestling, and, of course, many things that are going across the world of professional wrestling. Don't forget, we are sponsored by Dude Wipes. Stay fresh, stay clean, stay match ready. Dude Wipes and the Sports Jedi Network. We're wiping out the competition. Also, powered by G Fuel, G Fuel Energy. Go to gfuelenergy.com for promo code PGHChris and save 20% off your order on G Fuel, of course, and Blackout Coffee. Wake up, stand up, never back down. Go to blackoutcoffee.com. Use my promo code SportsJedi20 and save 20% off. Enough of all the sponsors and all the pleasantries. Let me say hello to the Sports Jedis that are joining me here. Let's go around the horn here to down to Pennsylvania, the one and only PGH Chris. Buenas tardes.
Happy afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, we're here for another Saturday. A lot to talk about here. A lot good, a lot bad. I'm excited to get into it with you guys. We got into it a little bit of some of the stuff earlier this week. Today's just a day we go more into detail. So happy to be with you guys again. Let's go.
And speaking of heavy details, this guy gives you the hard-hitting facts each and every time a microphone goes on. And the man who gives you the truth, the big Haas himself, Haas Knuckle Brew. Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, everyone. You know how we do it every Saturday. We rock just like this. Your weekly wellness check. Make sure you wash your ass today. Make sure you make you some money today and you move your body today. It's hot outside. If you're down here down south, I know it's hot up north, please be careful when you move your body today. If you need to move inside to move your body, do that, but you move your body regardless. Do not let this heat wave deter you. I want you to get in the best shape of your lives, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to get the most money you can these days, ladies and gentlemen, legally anyway. And please, take care of yourselves. The host loves you, and we're going to talk about some wrestling today. Let's have fun, everyone.
Absolutely. If you have not subscribed to our new channel, the Sports Jedi Media Network, please do. We ask you to come and subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff, as we're still working hard to recover our old channel, which is it's been a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of an obstacle. Hopefully YouTube and the Google company can help us out, get into it and get us across the finish line. A little bit of an update on that. Speaking of updates, Chris and Haas, the biggest news across the pro wrestling landscape. We talked a little bit about that on Wednesday, or actually it was a Thursday, that due to some situation out of our circumstances, the Dynamite Bros, each and every Wednesday, they break down AEW recaps. So please, that's why we ask you to hit that notification bell when you subscribe to the channels. If you're an All Elite Wrestling fan or wrestling fan, you want to definitely hear their breakdown on the Dynamite Bros every time, immediately after AEW Dynamite on Wednesdays. We spoke a little bit about this here because that news broke when you guys were pretty much on the air when you were covering. It happened a couple hours, but your reactions were genuine, and we're going to go into little details with the Pro Wrestling Nation on satellite radio, Sirius XM. Now has rebranded for the second year consecutively. Before it was Fight Nation 24/7, Fight Nation on satellite radio. Then went to Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7. Now it's the new home of the WWE Radio, and there's been a lot of backlash and we're going to speak about it, and we're going to see, now with more details. Chris was very fair and said, I needed more details. I needed to see what was going to come out of it. What was the situation before we really dive into and give our opinions. And I think we can satisfied say there's enough details or enough situation that we know of, factual situation, that we could actually give an opinion. And I'm going to go right to Chris, because Chris did a very smart move there and waited. Chris, we heard all the details. We heard all the different situation, WWE Radio. There's a lot of perspective. My question, I'm going to stop there because I want you to give your thoughts of what you heard, and then we'll get into the specifics with Haas and myself on the Pro Wrestling Nation changing the WWE Radio.
Okay, so yeah, I'll just give you guys what I heard, and then we'll go from there. The news actually came out like 30 minutes before we were prepping for the show on Thursday. Again, I was having technical difficulties even before. Like I was still in and out with Haas. Like my connection was all screwed. I did not know about it until you typed it in our chat. That was like, I saw something, but I didn't realize it was the whole whatever. That's why I really said, let me look into it, because I was focused on talking about Dynamite. I didn't realize like that hit me out of nowhere. So I think it hit us all out of nowhere. So that's the reason why I wanted to wait, because I didn't have time to actually read any press releases or anything like that. So I'll just start off with this, let Haas go, and then we'll get into more of it. Initial reaction, Dave made a bag. And it's WWE's thing now. I feel like Busted Open is under the WWE umbrella. That was my initial reaction. And then when I saw some of the details, some things that people were saying, very, very interesting stuff coming out of it. But I'll stop there right now for Haas. But that's what my initial reaction was. Is Busted Open now under the WWE umbrella? Did Dave sell it? That was just kind of my first kind of questions when I heard it, because it was pretty because like you said, they just rebranded the Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7. So it kind of makes sense now if you listen to the last couple of weeks of the show. I'll leave it at that for now. But yeah, very, very shocking when I heard it.
I'll let you jump in this.
When I heard it, I was just like, this is the WWE just tightening up their corners and taking over their streets. They're like, we're going to control the narrative. Like, we're not going to let any of these other, in their words, piss ant companies come and take over our streets. So this is what they did. And when it comes to Dave LaGreca, I can't blame him for taking that bag. I would have done the same. This is what you work for. And people are going to be like, oh, he's going to be shilling. He's going to be this and that. I'm going to tell you this here. If you're an entrepreneur, this is what you dream of. If things that are going to change your life, your family's life, if someone comes in there and just say, hey, if you care that much about your brand, you want to keep your brand, go for it. But if someone comes in and gives you an offer that you cannot refuse, in the words of the Godfather, you cannot refuse that. People throw you 6-figure checks, 7-figure checks to talk about simulated fights. This is what you do. If you call it selling out, you go ahead with your cat calling and your crowing and whatnot. You can say I sold out all you want to. I'm gonna tell you this here. If this was the horse and if someone threw that bag at me, I would be doing the same thing. That's what you do in entrepreneurship. And the wrestling fandom, they need to understand this is a business. I understand you want your analysis and this and that, but these people are getting their lives changed with this money. So people have to understand that. But that's how I see it. Like, the WWE is just tightening up their corners.
This is what people tend to forget about this. Pro Wrestling Nation, or whether it was Fight Nation, Pro Wrestling Nation, and now WWE Radio, it's intellectual property of Sirius XM Radio LLC. They're the ones that are taking the risk and putting in and allowing the show Busted Open to be a part of that platform. Also, Dave LaGreca, yes, he is in the creator, and his idea of having a pro wrestling show that started one day a week, and then he said 5 days a week. If you heard his speech and you heard his story, knows his story, satellite radio decides to give him that platform. Yes, it's Busted Open. You're the creator of Busted Open, but the intellectual property belongs to satellite radio. And people are having a hard time. Where did LaGreca sell out? They just ask him, do you want to be a team player on this platform? While now we're rebranding the WWE Radio, or do you want to just be ass out of water or shit out of water and say, well, then Busted Open doesn't need to be a part of the WWE Radio? I think Sirius Satellite Radio kind of said, well, either you're going to be part of the WWE Radio or you're not going to be part of Satellite Radio. Busted Open isn't. I think that's the way I perceived, and I got out of that, to be honest with you. That's the one thing that I received out of it, and I'm like, does Dave LaGreca deserve the slings and arrows? Listen, I'm not going to try to persuade you to think of what you think of that person. It's a tough situation. It's a tough situation because I think a lot of people do like the variety. Because I know Chris has a hard time saying that word.
My late. I showed the clip to my girlfriend. She was like, "Yep, same old. You can't." I said it right yesterday though. Unexpectedly, I did say it right, but I'm gonna chill out on the V word.
and I understand that because you want to hear different stuff. And what I perceive, I'm gonna ask the Haas. What I got the most out of it that bothered me was, now you'll be able to hear the WWE PLEs on XM radio, like the way the radio, to me, that's all great. That's phenomenal. That's awesome. If you're a truck driver, if you're on the road, if you're working, stuff like, but to me, that's them saying F you to the reactionary stream podcasters, F you to everyone who does the watch along. That's not WWE narrative to say there, or they watch along and say, oh, this sucks, or this is terrible, or, who asked for this? To me, that's the WWE saying you're not going to be the vocal minority. You're not going to be the big vocal minority. You're going to be a small minority where no one's really going to hear you. To me, that's the way I perceive Haas. Fair or unfair? I said a lot, so let me back up a little bit.
Oh, that's fair. Like that goes right back to what I was saying. Like the WWE is tightening up their corners. They don't want no one throwing, sandbagging, throwing bad I'm not gonna say bad information. Reviewing their content with honest criticism. Because if you're honest, you're gonna say what's bad and you're gonna say what's good. And everybody knows today WWE content is not that great right now. It's real slow. It has its moments, but it's real slow moving, and it doesn't adapt well. That's the best way to put it for me. So if they go like, okay, let's go ahead and get WWE Radio. We're gonna get these. They know the fan base it's a big herd mentality. People like to move with the herd. They're like, okay, if WWE Radio has 1 million some people, the other people will flock to it. So that's what they're banking on. I will not be one of those people to flock to it. I won't, because I don't want to be watching Shield Radio, but that's just me. But to anyone else that does it, it's going to show you how your fans actually are reacting. It's going to be a good barometer of your fans. But yeah, it's very fair what you're saying, Kev.
Let me ask this, Chris. I'm going to ask this question because you do a great job covering the Pittsburgh Steelers. You do your job. You watch it. You have a love, a passion, and interest. And what I see the WWE radio, it's becoming like the NFL on Sirius Satellite Radio, NFL radio, NBA talk, Major League Baseball talk. They have their individual programs there. Where, if you're an NBA fan, you get Brian Scalabrine and Frank Isola, who was the biggest at war with James Dolan. If you're a basketball fan or a Knicks fan like myself, you know that those two guys are like oil and vinegar. They can't stand each other. I think there's facial recognition when the man can't even enter the building. But he's under the NBA. He's under the NBA radio network. I think the WWE sees that, and I'm gonna ask this to you. The question to you, Chris: you do Steelers coverage, and if you have an opportunity to be under the NFL network on Sirius Satellite Radio, I think that's an opportunity you will, like all of us, would try to jump on and do. So this is the reason why I ask you that. I want you to see Dave LaGreca's point of view.
I totally see Dave LaGreca's point of view. That's why I tackle this very mixed. I have very mixed feelings about this because I give you my feelings as a creator of what we do, And then I also give, because I've been listening to Busted Open, like I told Hoss off air. I want to say 7 years when WrestleMania 35, when that was in Jersey. 35 when it was in Jersey at MetLife when Brock and Seth were having the Universal Championship match, the first ever women. Yeah, it was that one. That's really when that year is when, like a couple months before the WrestleMania, that's when I started listening to it. And I appreciated Dave was like the big voice of, the independent, where he could do and say what he wanted under Sirius XM, but he could still criticize the company that he was talking about. I think that's where the fans look at it. I'll say how I look at it as a creator. Like, of course, I would do the same shit like you just mentioned, right? I would do the same thing. This is what he's worked so hard to do. But as a listener to Busted Open, I've consumed Busted Open consistently now for the last 2 years, because I've taken breaks in between. It does suck because, I don't like Sam Roberts for the fact that he's tied with WWE. I can't take him serious. I love and respect Chris Van Fleet. I do. But when I listen to his shows on Fridays where he's reviewing the shows, he's so fucking biased. Like a lot. Like I don't want to feel that way with Dave because I enjoy Dave. I think he does come across honest when he wants to be. Like, example, The Rock and all that stuff. He's not doing that anymore. He is not coming at The Rock the way he was now. Like, something he can come out on the radio and say nothing's gonna change. I'm still gonna be the LaGreca, yada yada. I give it 3 months, 4 months, maybe 6 until that's not entirely true. That is what, as a listener, as a consumer of Busted Open, that's what I'm worried about. Is that let's say it's obvious as hell, because Chris Van Fleet does. It's obvious as hell that the main event for whatever is just atrocious. No, but I like it because this is what I'm just like I don't want that to be Dave, and look, Busted Open has been heavy WWE forever. It's no secret. They have Bully for crying out loud. Like they've been doing that. This just officializes it. And the one thing that people are talking about online is this is a partnership. This is WWE coming on to Busted Open Pro Wrestling Nation. Is it? Because when I look at all these official press releases, the one from WWE and the one from SiriusXM, the thing that really catches my eye where it says in this specific line, WWE Radio takes over SiriusXM channel 156, serving as the ultimate destination for WWE fans as it brings content SiriusXM's popularity, including shows like Busted Open, not Sam Roberts. So how exactly is this a partnership? No, this is WWE taking it over. That's what I could be wrong. I don't think Dave, I didn't expect Dave to completely answer all the questions and all that stuff that the internet was talking about. They've dodged through it like an MF. Kev, they talked about, and this is another thing, how coincidental, Kev, that since they're no longer allowed to talk about AEW, what did they talk about for an hour on Friday? Yesterday.
TNA.
They went into
finally
45 minutes to an hour. Why? Because they can no longer cover AEW. Again, this is as a consumer of Busted Open. That fucking sucks. But I as a creator, I understand the business because I would do the same thing if I was in this position.
I hear you. And Haas, we starting to see the repercussions there. Thunder Rosa came out, made a statement. She's no longer part of Busted Open Radio. She's no longer going to work there, yada, yada. Regardless of the fact that, because they're not going to talk about All Elite Wrestling coverage. They're not going to they're going to shy away. I think they will, just not to the degree that a lot of people want or expect. I think they still speak. I think they will speak about it, Chris.
Well, did you listen last week? Did you listen to what Dave was doing last week on Wednesday?
I did not.
On Wednesday,
I'm going to be honest with you.
On Wednesday, they were talking.
They stalled on. They talked about
hot
horror
dogs
movies.
No, they talked about hot dogs. They had Bishop Corbin come in. This was the Friday after, or this was the Friday after Corbin debuted with SmackDown. Was it last Friday where they were talking about hot dogs on a Thursday or whatever, and something else on a Wednesday, and they would say, oh, by the way, last night Kenny Omega beat MJF. This is during Breach Break. Oh yeah, and by the way, this happened. Nobody cares. That right then and there.
I'll raise you an ante. Before the news was even announced, they waited 2 hours and 30 minutes to just let us know that Mike Santana showed up on NXT. They talked about everything but, and that was on a Wednesday morning. Nick Nemeth and Dave LaGreca, they stole the shit out of talking NXT. But meanwhile, he's the first. This is the thing that raised me, Hoss. He's the first MSFer to show his cheesy face to do the pre-show for NXT shows. That's the one thing I don't like. To me, you come out very hypocritical. I've been defending you, but now I'm gonna take you to the coals. You're a fucking hypocrite. Because you don't want to talk about the shows. Also, when TNA would open up the doors because of Tommy Dreamer, and I got something to say about all this whole thing after I'm gonna let you guys speak. They allowed you to host the pre and post show. You had was it Sable last anniversary? That shit was the worst post show. That guy from Rat or Skid Row, the guy from Skid Row. Listen, I don't care about those fucking wash up ham and eggers rock and rollers that you put on there. Who gives a shit? You had him on there on the pre-show that didn't know where the fuck was his ass from his fucking prostate, and when they were talking, and you sucked. It sucked. But meanwhile, you didn't want to speak about TNA. We'll dedicate a whole. You had to wait until now to say we'll dedicate Fridays to you, but on a false count anyway. Fridays are about TNA wrestling. TNA wrestling hasn't started up. I have a lot. He's very hypocritical, and he talks on both sides of his faces. He's like a politician, boss, and you could see the things exposed.
The biggest thing about that is with him. It's all about metrics. They got people that are dedicated to the metrics of their show. If they see the metrics start to dip during a certain subject matter, they're gonna really go down on the coverage of it. So that's the nefarious part of this. Even though they're supposed to be covering every aspect of wrestling, they say, "Oh, we did talk about it. We dedicated 3 minutes to it." Well, your show is 2-3 hours long. Why are you only dedicating that small percentage to your to the show? But again, that's neither here or there. I just know how that goes. Is it good to do? No. They just like this subject doesn't make us enough money, so we're not going to talk about it. But you can't come out here and say you're an honest arbiter of all wrestling coverage. But that's the way I see it on that one.
And look, this is what I wanted to get to. Everyone says, "Oh, I love Dave LaGreca because he started something from scratch." He started from scratch and he put a passion, something that he loved, and all that. First and foremost, you had a big. Look, this is the analogy I want to compare it to. LaGreca, yes, he's successful what he did with Busted Open and where he got with Pro Wrestling Nation, but he played on a field that was manicured beautifully. It's not like the kids. World Cup just finished us a week ago, and a lot of those kids that you see from the Central South America, from Europe. I grew up. I didn't grow up. I went my summer vacation to Honduras a lot. My father's Honduran, and they used to play a lot of soccer. They would play on some nasty rocks. There were some nasty streets, some nasty stuff and all they get was a plastic ball that was a plastic soccer ball, and every kid in the neighborhood would go and play, and they played with that love and passion. What's your point? LaGreca had an easy field because he was in radio. He worked in WFAN New York as an intern. He was already in the wrestling business. He went over to Sirius Satellite Radio and he worked on the NFL. He had the door.
His brother.
For him.
Don't forget about
His
that.
brother-
You cannot
they
forget
both-
about his brother.
They both worked in WFAN New York, one of the biggest radio stations in the world. When you look at the history of sports radio talk, WFAN is one of the Mount Rushmores. Regardless, he cut tape, whatever the case was. He was a banker, beautiful, and his story was great. He chased the dream. So again, I'm not trying to poo-poo it, but he had a lot of great advantages working in those companies. Now, if you would have told me, and then he goes to satellite radio, he does this with the guy Doug Morton and whatever. They were starting it up from scratch, but they were already in satellite radio. They were in the right position already. They were in the right metrics. They were in the right fields. Then I say this: he's very successful because he has and they're not shy to tell you. They have the Prince of Sausage and Prime Ribs, TNA, the Hall of Famer, decorated tag team Hall of Famer, two-time Hall of Famer, Bully Ray Dudley joining across. They leveled up by bringing. If JD, and I say this, as much as we don't like JD from New York, or we do or don't, whatever, we respect him. If JD were to have a co-host that is a former Hall of Famer, guarantee he would have been one of those shows on satellite radio. Because and look, I appreciate this. I'm gonna say this with a lot of love and respect, and that's why I back him up 1,000%. And thank you to Jeff Lippman for joining our network. We're now getting some wrestlers on our co-host, like Mr. Thomas from MLW, like Luke Menzies, like Vinny Pacifico, who comes on. We appreciate. Thank you. That's why I will back up everyone, not just because they were former wrestlers. Everyone. My point to my story is, if you have the people with that cachet joining you, and you have the LLC of satellite radio paying good money for these guys come on, of course you're going to have a leg up, an advantage. If iHeartRadio will come tonight, tomorrow, and say, look, we love you guys. We want you to put out our radio. I love your dream. I love the Sports Jedi Network. You want to cover everything. We're going to back you up. We're going to pay Stevie Richards to be one of your co-hosts, to be part of there. You have to have Stevie Richards or Val Venus. People. I'm just throwing those names out there because I'm not going to go and say they're going to get me Shawn Michaels the next day. I'm going with the wrestlers that workers. Of course, people are going to tune in and we're going to get exposure. He has an advantage to us. Of course, he's going to have that opportunity to make noise.
Mm-hmm. And another thing too, he came up when wrestling was more popular. Like the popularity of wrestling has actually died down since he started. Is that fair to say?
He started in 2009. Wrestling was stud back then.
Yeah.
I mean, but
I wanted to talk about TNA wrestling.
The only thing he had going on for him was Cena and Cena. That's all he talked about in the early days of Busted Open.
How much he hated it.
How much he hated Cena, or how much the fans would call in for Cena. It didn't really pick up until like 2016.
No, the reason I say that, I'm talking about ratings wise, like ratings and attendance numbers. It was higher then, right?
Yeah. I mean, if more people watching the product, probably, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. He had the benefit of that.
No, he had. No, I see what you're saying. If he had more people were watching the product than there now, whether it was good or bad. I hear what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he had the benefit of that. It's not like he started here in 2026, even though the reach may be bigger now. The fan base has been diluted now, so he had the benefit of that. So I can't really blame him for the moves that he's making right now for this.
I give you this. The way I'm going to say it, when his height was the top, when they went 5 days a week, when the suits in satellite radio decide, you know what, we're going to give you your show from 9 to 1 o'clock or 9 to 12, 5 days a week. That means that the analytics or the numbers are saying that people are tuning in and watching, and there is a product need for your show. And then when they decided, because they booted out the UFC and boxing coverage, and that's why they relaunched last year the Pro Wrestling Nation. Now we agreed. We me and Chris used to throw jabs. It's not really 24/7. All you're doing is running reruns.
Pro wrestling 12 hours. That's what I would call it.
Yeah, pro wrestling, 10 hours, 12 hours, whatever the show was, yes. And the rest is repeated, rinse and repeat, a lot of stuff and a lot of repeat and all that overnight. You're not, 24-hour station is at WFAN New York, where you got callers and shows coming on and the content changes over and over and over again. But still, I think that's where his fight is, Haas and Chris. I think that's where when they rebrand and say you're going to be just a wrestling show, I think that's the height. And you know what? If he's going to change, if Satellite Radio wants to change it to WWE, I think that's the right time. I think that's the right move, like it or not. I don't know.
Budget, and one thing we're not talking about either is the money aspect. I'm not talking about for Dave. I'm talking about for Sirius and that specific network, because I don't think they had a great budget. That's why that's why they weren't really, in my opinion, Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7. They didn't have the budget to keep shows going on that long or rerun or new shows. Like, of course, some of these other creators would make a good, including ourselves. But I know a few creators that, okay, I could see them being on a slot on one of these shows, but it's like they don't have the budget to do it. So I think this helps them. This obviously helps tremendously, which is why I feel like WWE, this again, their press release says when they take over, I truly believe they're taking over, and Busted Open is a show underneath their umbrella. Just like
I think so too.
Just like like Sam Roberts and Megan Morant. I mean, they're gonna have two shows now. I mean, Sam Roberts, he has his show with Megan Morant that's gonna be on the Monday Night recaps or Raw recaps, whatever the fuck. I don't watch that shit. And then obviously you have it's called WWE Now. And then you have the Stephanie, Undertaker, and Cody. This is them taking over. Again, I don't mind the play-by-play on the radio, because when I'm at the golf course, like I said, for football Sundays in the morning, I like to listen to the radio. Like, fine. Especially like, Cost, I know you drive. Like, that's fine. Like, but it's gonna be a whole WWE takeover, and I'm not one of those people. I'm canceling my Sirius subscription. No, I'm gonna. First off, I'm not canceling it because I consume other stuff on there. But will I maybe not tune in to WWE radio quite often? Maybe that's fair. But I'm not canceling my Sirius subscription. I consume other stuff. But we'll see. I'm gonna give it a few, at least a month. I want to see what they talk about. How biased, non-biased they really are. It changes. Kev, we've been talking and listening to this shit consistently for the last 2 years. I think me and you will be able to tell if there is a difference between this show. So that's why I'm giving it a 2 months, maybe. I think that's the good point. And I think in 6 months and a year from now, I could see this being something completely different. Maybe in a good way, maybe in a bad. But yeah, we got to start. Our voices now are more important than ever. Us, meaning us three right here, the independent creators, we're more important now than ever.
Okay, you'll know about this come August 31st. Because what's on August 30th?
Yeah.
Yeah. All in.
If they don't talk.
That's
right.
That's true. The biggest thing for you, Kev, on August 30th is your mortgage. I get that exactly. But we got All In on August 30th.
If they don't preview or cover All In, that's why I said I'm giving it a month.
You will know, because this is a big propaganda machine. The WWE is a propaganda campaign going on right now. So everybody talking about, like you said, they're going to cancel their series, cancel all that. Stop being so dramatic. Just cut this out. Because most people right now, they're on these special series plans. You're paying $5 probably for like a year. A lot of people are on that right now. So if you cancel that, you're foolish. You're foolish because you're basically saying all I consume is wrestling, and I'm a geek.
Exactly.
I expect better for you as people. Right. So please.
Football's coming up. Don't cancel your damn Sirius subscriptions. Dude, I listen to ESPN radio. Yeah. Like if I don't want to listen to WWE, like I said, it's fair to say that I could cut off WWE radio and not listen to him as much. But I listen to ESPN radio. I can't watch First Take and all that stuff while I'm at my job. I have to listen to it. Like, again, I don't work weekends, so I don't care about listening to the pay-per-views. But still, again, pros and cons. We'll see what happens here. Like Hoss said, leading up towards Wembley, if they really stop all that. But getting rid of Thunder Rosa is definitely a start.
Yes.
And I'm just telling you this on Thursday, when I told you now. Also, Satellite Radio is going to announce the acquisition or the collaboration with Odyssey Sports stations. Odyssey Sports is your local channels. If you're, let's say you love your Pittsburgh Steelers talk from whatever the stations. I'm not familiar with the stations in Pittsburgh, but they do some talk.
Sports. It's like a Sports Pitnet. It was recently AT&T Pittsburgh. Like AT&T owned the Pittsburgh thing, but it's like rebranded.
If it's an Odyssey station, it will be now on satellite radio. Like for me, I always go to WFA in New York. I've been one of those that I would love to listen to Mike and the Mad Dog, and now Boomer and Geo and all that stuff. Now I can listen to a satellite radio. I don't have to go to the Odyssey app or at work, which I do now in the mornings. 5:00 in the morning with the warm up show. I listen to that, and then I'll listen to Boomer and Geo talk about New York centric sports. Well, they cover everything national, but there it's a New York station. If I want to hear my New York sports, or if you're if you want to hear about your Cleveland Browns talk. And you could go to their local radio station, and you'll be able to get that on satellite radio if it's an Odyssey station with the ticket. On all those shows, all that. If it's an Odyssey, you'll be able to listen to on satellite radio. So they're expanding their reach. And again, I think it's Hoss, you made it right. If you remove it, cancel it because of the wrestling, then you're just a one-dimensional person. WWE are trying to tell you they're not after the one-dimensional spectator anymore. They want the people that will diverse themselves in all different things, that want to consume a little bit of everything. Where you saw it, where the biggest complaint from Saturday night's main event, it's so Nick-centric. They wanted to show the NBA there's a fan base that were not into wrestling or not into wrestling. We're going to honor your champions, or New York. We're going to honor your NBA. We'll talk about the NBA in the wrestling world. We got belts. We got titles that, all across all these platforms, because they're trying to put their stamps on all major sports and this is what Vince McMahon thought about when he said, fuck the regional or the territories, and we're going global. This is what he had in mind. 50 years later, 40 plus years later, that's what he had in mind, to be on the top of all sports radio talk and ESPN and all, being showed with the World Cup highlights. Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, all that, that's what they wanted. Maybe us as an older gentleman or watching TV, we always, or human beings, they're always a pushback on change. Or we don't adapt to change well. Sometimes changes are good, sometimes changes are not good. I think that's where we're at right now, Haas. It's too early to tell if it's going to work or not.
The market is going to show it, because with WWE, they always try to set the standard. So we will find out how Tony Khan responds to this. Will he buy his own Sirius XM radio station? Will he go to iHeartRadio? Is my AEW enough?
I don't know how iHeartRadio will help him with that TNA deal. TNA is not doing shit with that iHeartRadio thing. iHeartRadio sucks. Not in the term. I don't want to say that. iHeartRadio is not on a big level right now because they don't have the live shows. Like, it's not like an app. I can go on the app and, this is live right now. They don't do that. It's like a podcasting platform. So they have to change that. They have to get something. They're I don't know, because with Sirius XM being the only thing in town, I'm excited for WWE Radio. Honestly, I listen to Busted Open a lot and some of the others. I love Cody's podcast. I'm very surprised you feel that way.
Because I really believe this is a big response into how AEW has the My AEW app going worldwide, and they see a lot of the independents are flocking to that platform. I think this satellite radio venture here in America is really trying to combat that. So it's opening up the wrestling wars into a bigger stratosphere, if that makes sense.
Yeah. But let me ask this here: if you're a content creator like ourselves, and we give your opinions and your opinion. Now is the time. You have an opportunity here to really level up your content, your communication skills, and your support system. Not be divisive, not be taking shots at one another, uniting, getting together, and start talking about the wrestling companies that are not here. You like we mentioned earlier today, we have the Dynamite Bros. If you don't hear it on satellite radios, you have the Dynamite Bros. You can listen to the Dynamite Bros give their opinions and their thoughts. Again, it's opinions and thoughts on the what they saw on Wednesday night. The same thing on Mondays. We have the MLW, files with Jeff Lippman and Mr. Thomas, who was a former wrestler and semi-retired with MLW on our channel each and every Monday, breaking down everything that's happening in the world of Major League Wrestling. And he knows the ins and outs. Give them a shot. Listen to them. Also, me and Jeff and of course, we'll be doing some NXT coverage, because I feel like wrestling WWE radio isn't really talking much of NXT. So we're doing that. Yeah, you don't see us do a lot of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, not because we don't like it, because there is a lot of coverage where, let's face it, people want to hear, regardless or not, Peter Rosenberg's, Megan Morant, and Sam glaze and talk about the WWE product. And so why are we fighting an uphill battle? I'll cover the shows that are not speaking about. And I'm going to say this now. We're going to be doing some AAA coverage and review because other people are not doing it. I'm trying to do something different that someone is not giving to you. Stand out. Be unique. Yes, I don't care. I don't care if you say I've got a IKEA curtain behind me and Funkos and all that crap. I don't have to spend $10,000 for me. Look at my car. I've got a nice brand new Volkswagen Jetta. I could put that shit on my fucking back on a computer screen and do it and run around and say, ah. No, I want you to tune in for me, for my thoughts, my opinions, or anyone on my channel and network. I don't need a rage bait. I'm not, no, I'm not going to rage bait you. I'm not going to get you pissed off and bothered because then it's not fun. Why I'm going to rage bait you to come listen to me and hate, listen. There's enough hate in this world. Let's talk about the wrestling coverage. Let's give our opinions, our thoughts, and our takes. And remember, it's opinions. And not everyone's going to have the same thoughts. No one's going to seem the same way because if it was, we're all eating vanilla ice cream and eating pizza every night and chicken nuggets. Everybody is different. Everybody has a different palate, a different taste, a different view, a different perspective. This is what the content creation is. And now everyone agrees. But here's the issue, Haas. I think people are not mature enough to agree to disagree.
There you go. Yeah, you hit it right on the head there. You have to agree to disagree, and people have to realize who are real honesty brokers out here, because a lot of people in this space, they have agendas. They want to get signed on to WWE. They want to get signed on to AEW or whatever company is dishing out this money. They want to get signed on, so they'll sit up here and glaze, even if they don't even like what's going on. They will say, "Oh, it's wonderful, it's great, give me more." And if you're lying to yourself, you're gonna lie to everybody else. So we don't need that in the space. So hopefully, with this acquisition, this brings more honesty out of content creators. But it could be just a complete opposite. But we'll see.
Hey, good. Look, I will support. Look, Marie Shadows, the Square Circle podcast. We love supporting everything she does. Take her tape studies. We want to extend and always help promote. And of Aaron Loves Wrestling, his podcast. He went on last night talking about the week of the professional wrestling as well. He does his thing. For our Circle podcast, we have Chair Shot podcast. We have a lot of different people that extends the olive branch and they support regardless of the there's enough division in the world, whether it's by continents, rivers, lakes, the oceans. There's a lot of division. We don't need the division. We don't need the division in the slight. You don't like someone, fine. We all not gonna like. We're not everyone's cup of coffee. We're not gonna like everyone. You know what? Let's be adults about it. Respect. All right. I don't mess with you. I don't care. I don't care too much. All right, that's fine. You know what? Do your thing, but you know what? Vice versa. I think that's something that we need to do here, especially the independent content creators. Whether it's 5 people watching you or 40,000 people watching you, and it's no. Who cares? You got to got to support one another, especially if you don't like what's going on. If we're getting swallowed up and eaten up by the big corporations where they're controlling the narrative, then this is where we need to, support one another, listen to one another. Hey, check these guys out, man. It's not, and normally I don't agree with them. Give them an opportunity. Hey, check out the tape studies there. Vice versa. I think that's something where we need to be, and not trying to one up one another. I get that a lot. I mean, you don't never know. You'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Different things. All right, so we'll find out where WWE Radio they launched this Monday. We'll find out how they did this, and this is not cheap because they have to do all these station IDs. All those station IDs that they had, this is Jeff Hardy. You're listening to Pro Wrestling Nation. That's out the window. All the IDs. Now you have to do all those IDs with different talents. I mean, they have no problem doing that because they get access. They have a leg up because LaGreca is going to be all over Minnesota doing all this. He'll get some all new content for WWE Radio. I'm pretty sure
they're going live from the WWE world out there.
Yes. It's called Takeover. It's called now Takeover.
Yeah,
it's called WWE Takeover.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Yeah. Of course it is.
Yes, indeed.
They prepared you for this in NXT years ago.
Yeah. Oh God, bring me back.
All right. So, speaking of this, let's go. Since we mentioned NXT, I was going to go Unreal, but I want to go NXT because it's not going to be long. It's going to be a short one. If you miss our NXT coverage, please do the Padawan Awakening podcast here with myself and Jeff Littman and Haas. Will be going on Tuesday nights when as soon as NXT comes to a conclusion, we go immediately on the air. We'll give you our opinions, our thoughts, what we like, what we didn't like on each and every Tuesday night. And let's talk about some NXT. Chris. Oh boy. The same way I opened up on Tuesday night, I was like a pig in happy.
Sports Pro Wrestling Illustrated's cover.
Let's wave that. Yeah. Mike Santana. NXT got some more flavor into the men's roster, an injection of some nasty, more nasty. Let's go.
Finally,
let's go.
Some fucking. Yeah, I mean, I knew he was gonna go there. How long is he gonna be there for? I don't know, but I knew he was gonna go there. I mean, I was worried if he was gonna go to the main roster, he would just get lost in the sauce already. So this is good. I want him to get an NXT title run. Obviously, that's the direction it looks like it's going. I'm actually going to have to start watching NXT on Tuesdays again, at least for Mike Santana's portion of the show. But this is good for him. Again, NXT needs him. I think he needs NXT. It should be good. And if they get a couple more people there, like the rumors are coming around, NXT could come out of this little rebuilding phase pretty good. But yeah, I like Mike Santana and NXT. I think it's the right move for him to start.
And you know what I like? You know what I like about all this? He's my neighbor. Yes.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Oh, yes, it is.
He's my neighbor.
Mike Santana, let's go. I'm giddy. Let's go.
This is gonna be great for Tuesdays because those young kids need it down there. They need a guy who they're familiar with, who they've already been working with them over the last few months. They know that he's gonna bring viewership with him. He's gonna bring some eyes to the product, some different eyes. The lapsed TNA fans who will watch NXT and they'll come back. So this is going to be a good experience. And Tony D, you're on the clock. That belt's going to Santana pretty soon, probably at Heat Wave, if not a little bit later. So we'll see how that develops. With Naraku, you're on the clock as well because you're not the new fancy toy anymore. So this is going to be good. And about him being down there for a while, I would put the belt on him maybe by the next PLE cycle. Have him hold it for the rest of the year. That's how I would do it because he's honestly probably the most recognizable name in wrestling right now for NXT, and that gives you time to build up one of these young cats to come after him. Maybe your Keanu Carvers, your Jasper Troys, maybe who else is down there? It gives those guys time to become a real discernible heel to go against him because he's coming in as a face. Santana's going to be a strong face for NXT, so it's going to give them their WWE, their ID talent time to develop under him while he has the belt, and they're going to develop some new stars with him. So this is going to be fun.
And they are going to travel, Aaron. They're going to be in Texas. They've got the Heat Wave. It's going to be a dual show in Texas. They're going to move around. I already checked the Coconut Circuit that they call here. That's the house shows for NXT. Nothing close to my neighborhood. Nothing close until like almost September, October. Chris, I was like, Santana's going to be there. I am going to the house shows. I will be going to the house shows to Davenport, to Orlando, to Sanford. I will be going to all over that bad boy. And I know they're not coming there. The closest one, I believe, was Melbourne. It's about an hour, 45 minutes. On a Friday night, I was like, I don't know. I don't know if Santana's going to be there, but I would have purchased. But there's only handicap tickets anyway. They sell out quick. But my point is, if he's going to be in NXT, I will be Dizzy house shows. I might be going on Tuesday nights. That's why Haas might be my tag team partner, to take my place, the Freebird rule with Jeff Lippman and this and that, because I might be there, once his name is announced. If he's going to have a world title picture there or the world title, I got to go see my neighbor. Got to go see my boy Santana, man. Big fan of him. We got to interview him plenty of times. We got my picture with him last time he's here. And all that good stuff. I cannot wait. Good afternoon, Coquito in the building. I think Alan Lewis, Sam Holloway. A lot of good matches for him in the future. My Santana's going to bring those guys and help elevate, with the rumors of Rich Holiday joining the WWE, possibly Eric Young, maybe Steve Macklin if he's not signed with Ring of Honor, because I don't think All Elite Wrestling, we'll get to that soon real quick. Yes, you need a best friend too. I thought, Jeff, I was hoping Luke Menzies was going to be that guy, but I don't know. He's on a world tour, and shout out to Luke, man. Luke Menzies, aka Rich Holland, is out in the independent scenes all over the European circuit in England, and he's doing a hell of a job there. I don't know. I got to send a courier pigeon. It hasn't flown across the pond yet to get the message to him, but hopefully he gets the message to see how he's doing, and hopefully he sends us a message back. Beam him up, Scotty.
I'm going to give you a dark horse guy who may come up with Mike Santana coming up. I can see Birthright becoming a real big deal against him. You can see Lexis King coming up. I think that's going to be a thing. Oh, I hear you, Jeff. That could be fun. That could be fun.
You know what? Birthright, Mike Santana, there's a history there because they cost him his title. Now, I'm going to ask this to you guys. They made a big deal that Vic Joseph, Booker T didn't mention his name. They're under the impression there's going to be a name change. Chris, I'm going to go to you. They're not changing name.
They better not. They better not. They've changed almost everybody except Ethan Page. So I don't think it will. I'm on the same boat, but it is fair that people have this concern or why they're saying it, because Ethan Page is the only person I can remember that didn't change their name. They changed Blake Monroe. I know they kept Jordan Grace, so we'll say that one. But they got rid of Ricky Saints. I mean, again, a lot of these people probably wanted it, and that's fine. But
they kept Joe Hendry. Everybody who came up from TNA, they kept their name.
Fair. Okay, that's a good way to look at it.
Except for Matt Cardona. And now even that, they put him back to Matt Cardona.
I just think he went as Zack Ryder for the John Cena nostalgia. Because I think I think the name Matt Cardona holds a little more value. I don't know. I think Zack Ryder has a little more value than Matt Cardona, but they kept his name.
I mean, that's a side note for him. His finishing move is still called the Rough Rider. So I think, I think Zack Ryder, him transitioning back to Zack Ryder might actually do him a service.
He made a good point. Danhausen stayed Danhausen. They didn't want to get cursed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I know when he went to AEW, he dropped the mic. He was always Santana. I forget what. Yeah, so he just added the mic. I don't think he could just use Santana. Maybe he wanted to. I don't know. Who fucking knows? But I don't think they'll do it.
Well, hopefully we'll see. We'll see, because if I'm this Tuesday, I'm opening the show with Mike on the microphone immediately. Why is he here? Why is he here? Putting Tony D'Angelo on notice. Definitely. You know what? Damn, I didn't fucking sign up for that show. I should have went this Tuesday. Oh man, I get it when we got C9. Would have been
We'll probably get a title match or something, or a match on one of the NXT cards leading up to the next pay-per-view. I'm sure.
My guy, Bobby Munoz better bring that big ass flag. Who cares what Jim and security says? Screw him. He better bring that Puerto Rican flag that he was bringing when the 2.0 days, and he better have that big Puerto Rican flag, and he better not sit in the well, sit in the crowd, so he could grab that flag and hoist it. Man, let's go. I'm getting closer and closer, itching to go to NXT. I'm gonna wait for all the kids to go back to school because I don't like being on the line with all those kids. I'll wait for them when school goes back to start getting on the list and show up to NXT each and every Tuesday. We'll be more adult centric. And the crowd was terrible for NXT. Me and Jeff, if you missed our review, please check our review here on our channel on the Sports Jedi Media. Me and Jeff, we definitely talked about that, how the crowd the energy was a little lackluster. It wouldn't feel good. It kills the show a little bit. But Haas, the NXT this past Tuesday, they were really emphasizing the men's division. We know that the women main event, women could close. The women are phenomenal. Yes, you had a couple, you had a little thread there with the women and so forth, but it was more men-centric. You got to see them emphasize more of the men with the I'm with you. Naruto, I'm not feeling him, bro.
I'm telling you, it's the metrics. Like when we talked about it last week, I was like, what demographic is Naruto for? I mean, are you trying to bring in more New Japan people to come watch this? I don't think New Japan people watch WWE that much. I could be wrong. I think they skew more to AEW with the strong style of wrestling. I think they skew that way. So I really don't think that he was going to move the needle enough. So they are focusing more on the men's division because the modern wrestling fan in these arenas have showed you the men are the one who move the crowd. And for better or for worse, that's just what it is. A lot of these ladies, even though we know their names and we like how they look, they get crickets out here. SmackDown showed you that last night because we had people up here complaining on Monday. Where are the women on Raw? How come the women didn't wrestle? Now you got 3 women's matches yesterday on SmackDown. Crickets, all 3 matches. But people get on the internet, the vocal minority that Nick Khan tells you that he doesn't listen to, it would say, "Oh, we need more women's wrestling." It does not translate in real life. So when it comes to
why do they hit off in NXT then?
You say what now?
Why does it steal the show in NXT and then it's that translation to the main event, to the main roster? It just dies. Like there's a huge, that should be studied, the huge drop off, because if you're telling me you get a main event, you see Kalani Jordan and your main event against Lola Vice or Kendall Gray, that's banger. I'd rather watch that and off of any 2 male, no disrespect. And because of maybe is it because of the presentation in NXT that they tell us the backstage stories where in the locker room or in segments when the women, because I didn't get really anything segment wise with Naruto. Maybe we giving him a unfair shake because all we got was a package with Wars coming and that's it. We didn't really get anything to get invested with him, and I think that's some WWE creative.
Yes, you're right, because when it comes to selling, the WWE creative knows how to sell the Joshi wrestlers, the women of Japan. They know how to sell them for some reason. Well, I'll say to a certain extent. They catch it with Io Sky. They got it with the emote that was lighting in a bottle. Asuka, when she came in NXT, they knew how to push her then. They never got Kairi Sane going on the main roster, but she was a thing in NXT. She was hot as the pirate princess in NXT. So it seems like they know how to market the Joshi women a whole lot better than they do the men. But it just, like I say, Naruto's style just doesn't fit down here in WWE. But I know why he's here. He wants to be close to his wife. That's very fair. But it's just, I don't know. I don't think this fan base would appreciate him much. I could be part of that because I just don't get it. Like I don't get it. Like he's a fine wrestler. He just doesn't. He's not the apple of my eye. Is that fair to say? Just not fair. That for me. He's just not that for me. He may be there for someone else. He just ain't there for me. But he could be a good warm up for Santana as he goes up to Tony D. As you don't, because Naraku, even though he's lost twice, he has established that he has been the number one contender on NXT. And when it comes to CW wants their ratings to go up because we've seen wrestling ratings go up recently, demographic wide of every other promotion. So the CW wants to see that incremental growth, and they know that follows with the men's division. So that's where the focus is coming with that.
We'll see how that goes, but definitely, I'm for it. Look, Naruto isn't going to win the world title anytime soon. Fine. Now I think he needs an opponent to bring him to pull it out of him. And listen, maybe and this is what NXT's there for. Maybe he's trying something different. He's learning the American style. He's learning. Maybe he needs to make a little bit of adjustment, and NXT is the right place for him. All right, we tried it your way. We gave you 2 world title pictures to see how you did it in Japan, how you did it. It's not really fascinating. Now we're going to go to the drawing board, and we're going to change things. We're going to tinker and change things to what the coaching staff see from you. Let's try this. Let's try that. Maybe it resonate with the NXT crowd or the WWE universe and see where it goes from The Rock to. I'm still not going to lose hope on him. Again, he might not be our apple of our eyes, but there is something there if they sign him. And they brought him aboard, and they brought him in. They see something, and I don't think it's just because he's going to marry Io Sky. I think they see something in him. They see something long term. Maybe they're selling this pillar here where he's going to have a little bit of a change, a tweak, or something different. Remember, all supervillains got to go through a hardship in their origin story that made them the supervillain. Maybe him losing, not getting endeared, gets him to that next level of supervillainism. I don't know. I'm just trying to bring it part of the comic book world. I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. When it comes to sports entertainment, he needs to follow how his wife is doing. Go play Fortnite. Go find you an emote that works for you. EO got this over. She got this over, and it's wild everywhere.
Yeah, I don't recommend that because he's a newlywed, and if he's playing video games instead of playing with his wife, there's something wrong.
Okay, fair enough. But he has to find something that's sports entertainment related to get him over. Because that's all it is. Like the people like his wrestling style. That's fine. I'm not a fan of his finisher, but that's just me nitpicking. But I would say this probably he needs to lose a little weight. He needs to lose just a little weight, probably about 10 to 15 pounds to look a little more intimidating and get something over. That's all it is. Like he's not gonna get over just putting the Japanese insignias out in the papyri or the paperwork, whatever you want to call it. That's not gonna get him over. He's got to do something that's gonna be more relatable to that crowd in the performance center. So it's gonna be fun to see how it unfolds. But I'm here for it.
Yeah, we'll see how that develops. And I want to get to this comment from Aaron because we're not ignoring your comment. It just wasn't at the right time. Said Sammy Guevara removed all his AEW bio. Ty Mello was granted her release. Don't know what the terms of it. If these guys are this couple, which they live here in Florida, they have a beautiful home here in Orlando, Florida, beautiful home for Ty Mello and Guevara. Do you see them jumping to NXT? No, I don't see it either.
No, I wouldn't want that for him because creative already has a problem up here with the people that they do have. And the thing about it on NXT, they're focused on their ID program. They're not going to be pushing all these free agents unless you are a big name free agent. And Sammy Guevara, he's not even a big name in AEW anymore, and that's the problem. Like if he was white hot in AEW, okay, that'd be different. But
I can give you an example with Ethan Page, though. No one knew he was going to take this to no one that was in that, but never knew that he was going to take that to the next level, that next league.
Ethan Page, he has a relatable look when it comes to the WWE, though. He has the chiseled jaw. He has a character like, okay, we like these guys with this oozing so-called charisma, oozing all this ego, a punchable face, a heel that you can hate. It's easy to hate Ethan Page. You're like, man, I don't look like Ethan Page. That's a handsome motherfucker. I don't look like him. He's big. He talks that shit. I can't be like him. So he's easy to hate. So, but a guy like Sammy Guevara is just fine. He's a fine wrestler, but his name is not have enough name value to bring over. It just doesn't. And Ty Mello, I mean, I think she just wants to be a mom. I think she wants to be with her kids. I don't think she wants to wrestle on a regular basis anymore. I could be wrong. I have no facts on that one, but I know they have young children, and I think she wants to focus on that.
Chris, Sammy Guevara was a pillar, known a pillar, and WWE likes to stick it. They bring him on, and listen, you got Mike Santana, you've got some names there. The Spanish God, Sammy Guevara, Mike Santana program of NXT, regardless if he doesn't go to the main roster for an NXT run, I could see that.
I think you just get lost in the shuffle. They're not gonna. They wouldn't push him immediately. They would.
That is very tough. I think you guys both have a point because I think he could use the NXT, and I think quite frankly NXT could use him, but.
Yes,
Sammy Guevara in the last 2 years, he just hasn't done much. And with the thing about it with Ethan Page, like Ethan Page still had a run from Impact before he came into AEW. And yeah, I think Sammy would shine. I could agree with Aaron's comment. He would shine in Triple. I could agree with that because him and Ty were doing the CMLL tag team stuff. Like they would thrive down there, no question. And Ethan, I'm surprised. It gives me back to Ethan Page too, because like he wasn't doing a damn thing when he went to NXT, but he still had that little name value from Impact because he's been in the business for a while. I don't know how much of that Sammy would have, so it's tough. I would like to see it, but I don't. I just don't think they do it. I don't know what they would do to make Sammy Guevara interesting. I think the only reason why he was sort of quote unquote interesting in AEW is because people hated their relationship with Ty. It wasn't a heel heat that Sammy was getting. It was go the fuck away heat that he was getting.
I don't know. I like the Spanish God gimmick.
I do too.
I could see if Sammy Guevara was Darby Allin, I'd buy it. But Sammy Guevara, he's just not hot right now. It's just not. And he wouldn't be able. Would he be able to change the demographic numbers enough for Triple H to be like, hey, bring him over? The Sammy Guevara bring a extra 50,000 viewers?
I don't think so. But here's the thing that you like. I like him to be Triple A, the Spanish God. Because let's say at the end, hear me out. Let's say especially in these shows in Vegas, right? And for Worlds Collide, they're announcing Worlds Collide and knowing that there. And Dom Mysterio is your world champion. And how come Sammy Guevara as a Spanish God? I'm intrigued of that match. I'm sorry.
Him and Triple A would be good. Him and Triple A would be fine. Like Aaron said, I think he would kill it down there. But NXT main roster, I just don't see it.
I can still see it. I'm in the minority. I know we're not going to agree on it. I can see Sammy Guevara and NXT will thrive, will do better. Listen, he'll do better than Mason Brook. I'm sorry. I'd rather see Sammy Guevara than Mason Brook.
On that one.
I'm not a lot. Kevin Knight's a better wrestler, but Sammy Guevara is a more interesting character. I like the Spanish God. He could come out and be the little shit that heel. That everybody look, the heel. You're not supposed to like the heel. You want to kick his ass. You want to break his teeth in. I think he could do that. I think that's just me. I'm in the minority, but I agree.
Our argument is on booking, which we'll go in circles about that because WWE creative is terrible right now. I mean, many other companies aren't that much better either. But that's what we're going in circles about is the creative. That's all.
Sammy Guevara, Logan Paul. Look at that. And look, in TNA, and Aaron mentioned TNA, I can see TNA bring him in there because you telling me Casey Navarro, Sammy Guevara give you a nice match. I mean, or even Nick Nemeth and Sammy Guevara. You know, there is a lot of meat on the bone for the Sammy Guevara in wrestling. And you know, which company? Hopefully, the right company knows how to pull the best out of Sammy Guevara, out of him. To me, I'm with you guys. I'm with Chris on this one. I would love to see it to be in AAA. I would like to see it in AAA. Be honest with you. Because even if Ty Mello shows Haas, they have mixed tag titles too.
Yeah. I would trust. I guess I could trust Undertaker's booking down there with that show because it'll be very translatable. I mean, you could do that. So I could buy that. It's just when it comes to NXT and in the main roster, the creative room is not diverse enough to push these type of characters. We see that with every other race. We see it, and that's my biggest divide here. They don't know how to push these characters. They don't know how to write for them. If you sit up here and look at some of these segments and you see how some of them talk when they actually do get promo time, unless they are undeniable on the mic, the people in the creative rooms cannot write for them. So therefore, they can't get over as they should, and that's the biggest thing I'm worried about.
Yeah, and you make a good one. I think they were mixed tag team champions. Aaron, fact check me when they had that collaboration with AEW. They were mixed tag champions before, so they have history. They could bring them back in there and cause some havoc with Lola Vice and Mr. Guana, yada yada. You could do some good stuff as an introductory for them if they show up in AAA going forward. But I know I was been an advocate for Sammy Guevara and NXT. I just hope that if it does, I don't want them to start pushing some of the wrestlers in Evolve for the opportunity, like a Harlem Lewis, like a O'Rourke, like all the other different wrestlers that are involved that want to get that opportunity to go to the main roster of NXT to get shown each and every Tuesday night. If you bring in, Mike Santana is going to take a lot of real estate, and maybe now another guy gets pushed back a little bit. So it's a little bit tough one. I don't think Sammy speaks Spanish. That might hurt in AAA. You're probably correct. The inability, but Ty Mello, I think she speaks a little, despite being from Brazil and speaking Portuguese. I think she does speak a little Spanish too, because they speak 3 different languages in Brazil. So I don't know if that would help as well. So interesting enough to see that name was out there. Sammy has not been officially released or gone from the company. It was just Ty Mello. So again, there is no rumors. There is no factual Sammy Guevara out of AEW. It's just that his wife is right now. So, and of course he eliminated all the AEW response. No official words come out because that's on secret hold. Everybody knows the minute, the hour a wrestler is leaving the WWE, but God forbid if you know when an AEW wrestler contract is up or when exactly he's free unless if you're refreshing the AEW roster page. That's the only time you know. And by the time you do that, they're already showing up on another platform. Speaking of that, Bayley was removed from the tryout. A lot of wrestlers that we know are on some tryouts. They're going to be SummerSlam tryouts. She was one of the coaches. Now she's not there. I'm going to go to Chris. Is it a big deal? Not a big deal? Or what do you think? She's going to AEW or not? I don't think so.
I don't know, because again, we don't know where her head is, but if she wants to do other stuff with her lodestone and all this stuff and do some other stuff, something different, I can see her in AEW. I don't know if that means anything or not, specifically her being removed as a coach or whatever. Maybe it's because of negotiations. Maybe they're negotiating behind the door. You don't negotiate your contract when it's up. You negotiate your contract while it's coming up. At least you start that process. So we'll see. But I can see her showing up in AEW.
I can see it too, because honestly I think there's a purge coming for the WWE. They have too many talents that are not being utilized, and that's why they're asking people to take these pay cuts. And I'm mixed on this, because when it comes to AEW, I'm very tired of them picking up everyone. Mm-hmm. They have a bloated roster as is, and got a lot of people that do not get on television. And just say Bayley does come to AEW. You're taking TV time from Queen Aminata. You're taking TV time from Mina Shirakawa. Because Tony Storm will be back soon, and that's going to be a lot of real estate taken as well. And I want people to get their money. I want people to have jobs. But the way the wrestling landscape is, everybody can't get signed everywhere. It just can't happen. But everybody keeps talking about Mercedes has all this big sway, and she's gonna have Bayley come over. I'm like, okay, that may be a thing, but that's gonna hold so many of these women back. It doesn't help. The same thing if Sheamus comes over to AEW. We always talk about these older wrestlers up here taking up real estate, but you want Sheamus, you want Farrelly. Like, make it make sense. He already doesn't push Bobby Lashley, who's over as hell with the Hurt Syndicate. But you think they're gonna push Sheamus to the moon coming over here? No. Stop signing everybody. I mean, some people are undeniable, like the New Day, Motor City Machine Guns. They will move units. That's fine. But if you sign Bayley to AEW, it's just gonna mean it's gonna be a bunch of other women going down to ROH. Then you'll never see them on TV again. And I don't want that for them.
It is as simple as that, to be honest.
The reason why I don't think Bailey goes to All Elite Wrestling, she might go to TNA, maybe. I don't think they could afford her. But if you look at Unreal and you see everything that's current about, you can even see what happened in Vegas. Who's her friends? Who's her best friends when it comes to Bailey besides Mercedes and the WWE? Who she's hugging? Who's she's going around hugging and loving and Dubby? Punk. Majay. Punk has nothing. Punk had a terrible experience. You think Punk? What did he say? That company doesn't want to make money. They're just a bunch of kids. They can't even run a Target. You think Bailey's gonna go there?
I hear that, but Punk ain't gonna pay her bills. AEW will throw a bag at Bailey, and we know
and
this.
If WWE gives her almost the same amount of money, not the same, but a little bit less.
They won't.
How do you know? Do you not? You don't know the contract.
I don't know the contract, but the way they utilize her, they're not going to treat her like that. They're not.
And we mentioned about all these wrestlers coming. You got 12 wrestlers are free agent already, and they're already saying 7 of those are going to show up. Where are you going to put them to wrestle? Where the company itself doesn't even know they have a TV deal with the after the Warner Brothers Discovery to even pay for these wrestlers to show up.
I mean, you have a point there. You do. We just gonna just use Bailey. Here's the example. I know AEW will overpay her to come. I know that for a fact. I mean, Tony Khan is a mark. He believes Bailey will be the tipping point to get his women's division over. But the tipping point is you need to know how to book your division. But that's a different discussion. But he'll be like, okay, Bailey, I will give you 3 times your market value of the WWE. Go take this contract over them and see if they match it. TKO ain't matching that.
I agree with you on that. I definitely agree with you.
So that's the thing with them. Now, when it comes to these other teams, like New Day is gonna bring new eyes to AEW, so he has to sign them. Motor City Machine Guns the same way. Will anybody?
I don't
else?
think he needs to sign the Motor City Machine Guns.
I don't think so either.
He'll sign them because they'll give him 5-star matches for the tag.
Yes, I mean that'll be a Dave Meltzer signing.
Yes, and that's a Dave Meltzer signing because they're not moving the fucking needle for any pro wrestling company. They were barely pushing the needle during their last in the Impact run. Motor City Machine Guns, in my opinion, are very overrated. And as somebody who loves Chris Sabin,
I give you that. I will give you that. The thing about it is, if they're going to go all in, and no pun intended, if they're going to go all in on the tag team division, you're going to need 10 to 15 tag teams in AEW because you will fall out of favor because this is all about matches. There's not going to be any stories here. And, I will say that the stories are not going to hit. They're going to be very angle-centric, not stories. But you're going to need a lot of tag teams to make this work. So
he'll throw Bailey a bag to get that Mercedes storyline there. He'll use it at next year's All In. He'll use that as a selling point. Is
it worth it? He can't wait till next year All In. That guy's impatient. That'll be the first Dynamite as soon as she's available. Kidding me?
Fair.
Mercedes versus.
Still, if I'm him, I'm using that match as my selling point for next year. If he can get her at the end of this year, early next year. But I think he'll pay her because he wants that storyline. He wants that storyline in AEW, the Bailey versus Mercedes. He wants to relive Takeover Brooklyn.
And another thing with Bailey is you have these women that are coming up now. They're going to push Willow to the moon. It seems like you got Maya World with a big push. If you bring Bailey, or you're handicapped the rest of them. Like you can't build new stars when you bring in bringing in one that's already grandfathered in because this company does not book the women's division properly. That's all it's about. If he booked them properly, I have no problem with it. That's my whole.
But if he booked them properly, there'd be no fucking need for her. That's the thing, because again, he has not booked Megan Bayne properly since day one. There's no reason why she shouldn't be one of the main players on this division. You got Mercedes, you got Tony Storm, and you had Willow, there. You had Chris Statlander at one point when she was hot. You had Jamie Hayter at one point. You had fucking Britt Baker. If Tony Khan would book his women's division properly, you wouldn't even need somebody like Bayley to begin with. It would be a plus, but you wouldn't even need her.
With another thing too, like Bayley's she's one of the 4 horsewomen. That'd be another notch in the belt for AEW. You're like, okay, now I have half of your women's your women's Mount Rushmore. I have half of them now if he gets Bayley. So that would be a big talking point for Tony Khan. For his
Tony Khan's gonna do it for the wrong reasons, bro.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we are saying yes. It's not for the right reasons, for the reasons people are thinking yes. Oh, that's what. No, we're saying yes because she's gonna get thrown a bag, and Tony's gonna want to use her as a big toy in his collection, and she's not gonna refuse. What if she says, I'll even fund your fucking Lodestone shit? She's probably doing that independently on her own. Oh yeah, she's taking that bag. See, yes, for the wrong reason, not for the wrong reasons for maybe us as the viewer, as a wrestling fan. Right reasons for her, but that's gonna be why she signs, in my opinion, because she's gonna get that back thrown at her.
I'm glad you mentioned the Lone Stone. I wouldn't be surprised if she resigns. That becomes a WWE ID program school. I wouldn't be one bit surprised. Because here's the thing: they would have not let all these wrestlers show up at the Lone Stone Academy if they knew she was bailing and leaving, like John Cena. Like you had, who did Janai Kai take pictures with? So many different people.
Charlotte,
all that.
Yeah. I know. I think Becky and Seth might have been there one day.
They had a lot of WWE influence. Let's wait and see. I hear your thoughts. I hear your opinions. I respect it, and I agree with a lot of your things there. I just have a funny feeling deep down inside she's not going to leave. I think she resigns. She stays.
I'll say this: let's look at Natty. If Bayley can sit up here and say, "I would want to live like Natty Neidhart," I'm cool with that. She'll do that. But if she feels like she can give more, or she wants to take the money, she'll go to AEW. So that's the best way that's the best comparison I can make. Like if she's focused on her school, she needs to focus like Natty does with the dungeon. If that's her supreme focus. But if she feels like she has 2 or 3 good years left of wrestling and she wants to rack a bag up, she goes to AEW.
Oh, yeah. Wherever she shows up, he's going to knock it out. I mean, be honest with you, we're not even talking about TNA. She changes the fan. She does what she does. She'll even elevate more the Knockouts division that what Trinity did. Naomi did for TNA. Bayley shows up there. That's like revamping that to another, taking that women's division, the Knockouts division, to another level. She just shows there. I don't know if that's going to happen, but let's just entertain it. She will really, really become, her matches there and help lay girls like an Alina Black, like an M by Elegance to think and work and go that different route. Wherever she goes, she's a grand slam for any of the women's division. Again, we're not poo-pooing it. Deep down, if I have a gut feeling, she stays with WWE. She goes to AEW. Great opportunity, great adventures, great opportunities for that fan base to get that one. To me, it's just for one match only, and it's just Mercedes and her. I don't see nothing else, to be honest with you. And I will hate that because she's going to get frustrated and put it into the closet. She's going to end up being like Saraya. And we heard Saraya speak, a.k.a. Paige, talk about how she's a WWE girl. Now, I could find that a little bit of a bullshit because they didn't push her brother, and that's why I could call it a little bullshit, though, Chris.
So yeah, Saraya's the same one that went on her promo when she came into at Grand Slam. Oh, this is my house. This is where I needed to be. This is where they all say the same shit.
I got freedom.
They all say
freedom.
They all say the same shit. They come back. They all come back to WWE. I'm home.
You fucking hypocrite. I'm home.
AKA CM Punk.
That's what Paul tell you. Like there's always.
If you have a problem with Jack Perry, you're most likely the issue. Okay. He said that on a podcast when he first came to AEW. He was like, I mean, Jack is just such a nice kid. If you have a problem with Jack Perry, then you must be the real problem. You fucking hypocrite. I could keep going on and on and on about all these people that have come. The New Day are going to come. Oh, this is where and who knows what happens with them in the next 3 or 4 years. I'm home. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. And then we have all these AEW, calling the WWE home. How the fuck is WWE your home?
Mm-hmm.
You're new here. How the fuck? And same thing with these WWE wrestlers. How the fuck is AEW your home? You're fucking new here. You spent your whole life with the quote unquote the feds.
Chris, whoever's name is on your check is where your home is. Home is where the cash is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you blame them though? I mean,
No.
my ex-employer ain't paying my mortgage. It's my current employer.
I agree 100%.
The lights are on because of my company. It's not because of the former company I used to work for.
No, I agree. That's the wrestling business.
Yeah, exactly. That's the perfect statement you mentioned there. That is the wrestling business. That is the lucha libre business. That's the wrestling business. All in all, you said it perfectly there. And speaking of the wrestling business, Unreal season 3. We're gonna get right into that one there. But let's tease that for a second because I want to take a quick break because we have not shouted out our sponsors. So let's shout out our sponsors because summer's almost over and we want to hear from Dude Wipes and Soraya. So let's take a quick break to Dude Wipes.
Summer is upon us real soon. When the temps start to climb, cool down your undercarriage with a poopsicle. Dude Wipes team created the world's first ice pop scented butt wipes. Every dude deserves a little treat after dropping a dookie. Poopsicle Wipes. Get your butt over to the TP aisle or snag a pack online. Here, your promo code. Text DUDESAVE20 to 59463. Get 20% off. Dude Wipe, sponsor of the Sports Jedi Network channel. Feel the force. Stay Dude Wipe clean.
This is the one and only Paige, and you're watching Sports Jedi Network. Feel the force.
Thank you so much. We're going to talk about Unreal Season 3 as we teased before that there. I got to ask this question to you guys, man. Was WWE Unreal has become one of the most interesting wrestling documentary series currently available, or you still give that to Dark Side of the Ring?
I'm giving it the Dark Side of the Ring. I like certain parts of Unreal. I don't. What do I like about Unreal? I love seeing Stephanie talk about her struggles with her father and all that stuff. I like seeing some of these wrestlers when it makes sense, when they're faces. I don't like seeing writers' rooms, even though I think it's all bullshit. I don't like seeing, so this is what the plan is. You're going to take like the whole Seth Rollins stuff. I don't want to fucking see that. There's too much being shown, in my opinion, as somebody who respects the old school ways of professional wrestling. But I generally understand why a lot of people enjoy this. I do. And if you do, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't enjoy it. I enjoy parts of it. I'll watch it, but it is a little bit when, again, they show us every detail on how they did like a Seth Rollins return, yada yada. It's too much for some people, and I understand why.
All right, so Haas, what was the most thing that surprised you so far here in season 3?
Nothing. Nothing. I hate this show. I hate it. It's terrible. Like bad content. It's just content just for the hell of it, and it does not help the wrestling business in any way. I guess it hits you in the feels when you hear about Larry. That humanizes Punk and AJ Lee a bit because everybody loves their dog. I'm a dog owner. Dog friend, however you want to call that. I get it. I understand that, but I don't need to see these guys being humanized so much because they're supposed to be larger than life characters. I don't want to see CM Punk crying if I'm a wrestling fan. I do not want to see Braun Breaker being softened up out here. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to be. This is how these parasocial relationships are started because they think. People think that, man, these people, they're just like me. They're my friends. I see them and all this. No, these people are entertainers. Let's go back to 1996 with Michael Jordan. We know nothing about Michael Jordan, but he was a badass on the basketball court. That's all you knew. You did not know he was this guy bar hopping in Atlantic City, up here gambling all night and putting 50 on your head the next night. You didn't know that. You didn't know that till after he was retired. I want to go back to that. And shout out to Marie is right. The overexposure, that's the biggest thing here. The overexposure in wrestling is a bad precedent. It's terrible, especially when it's sports entertainment wrestling. Like we could probably go humanize guys in smaller promotions they're trying to dabble in more realism, maybe in the strong style. That may help. That could probably help. But when it comes to sports entertainment, the ones that focus on character work, focus more on the characters and not their real life personas. That's why I hate this TV show. It's mind numbing. It makes my head hurt, and it is so calculated and fake. Like it's actually better than the weekly television, and that's the problem. They focus more on Unreal than they do on Raw and SmackDown and NXT. That's why I hate this television show. Focus on the weekly television, please. That's what brought you here. That what brought you to the dance. Focus on that. Unreal. We don't need Unreal. No, the biggest telling thing about Unreal is their ratings are better than the weekly shows. They're getting more viewers on Unreal than they do for Raw. I hate this show.
My opinion, I think I see the WWE is using Unreal to strengthen its brand with the casual fan. The casual fan, I was telling you guys, or the young fan that is watching it and their parent is not into it, or their brother or their cousin or significant other really is into it. But this is a wrestling show. Don't you watch this? And then when they do Unreal, and they get involved in the story. What touched the heart was the Larry saga when CM Punk says, "We have no kids. Larry is our son." The backstory of how they got Larry, how he came to their life, how they came. Oh, that is so nice. For the girls. You just saw Chia, one of my dogs. One of my, and just you got to see that tugs on it. One thing that I became a fan of, and I'm gonna be totally honest with you, was watching the Netflix documentary series The Wrestler. I got more into appreciation of OVW, seeing their financial struggles, seeing what Al Snow and all the obstacles and challenges they had there, seeing cash flow, looking like an everyday wrestler, and like me, we have some issues that whether we need paint job on our kitchen or our bathrooms or need remodeling, and we don't have the money to remodel and all that stuff. Seeing that wrestler go through the financial issues as a wrestler, seeing different things from all the from Hollywood J, her dream of becoming a WWE wrestler, and watching her grind on the independent scene, seeing her on Wild Wrestling. Those are the things that grabbed me. I think WWE saw that moniker from the wrestler from the OVW story, and they wanted to emulate that and copycat that and bring that to light. To me, they're trying to get that casual. OVW, I always knew that was like a feeder system to WWE. I couldn't care any less for the Ohio Valley Wrestling. Now, I've said this many times after that. I want to love to have time in the day to cover OVW because I like their story, their underdog mentality. I'm not saying the WWE is an underdog. I'm not saying one bit, but I like that underdog and gravitate me as a casual to want to watch that now. I think that's what Unreal is. I think WWE's trying to do that with the people, the casuals that are on Netflix globally around the world.
Yeah, I think that definitely could be a reason why they're doing Unreal. But it's we can't really talk too much shit about the dirt sheets anymore, can we though? Or really, we can't criticize anybody if they want to spill. So I know it might be different, but the biggest company in the entire business is literally pulling back the curtain and showing us how they do stuff. Obviously, they're not going into contract negotiations and all that because all of that's already happened. But they're still showing us the curtain and they're pulling it back. That's why when the diehard wrestling fans watch a show like this, I understand. That's why I don't really criticize. I don't like what they do, but I don't really criticize them at much because if WWE's doing it, why can't we? and that hurts the wrestling business, in my opinion. That hurts the viewer. I understand the casuals don't give a shit, right? They'll watch it, but let's be honest, a majority of these people, they watch, they pay attention.
Let me ask this, Haas, real quick, Haas, because this is a question that I would love you to answer. This is the one. That's why I interject here. When is it become the little boy that cry wolf? Because the reason why I say that, we don't like what they're showing, and we're talking about the dirt sheets, but the dirt sheets always got something negative. JD from New York is always negative. This podcast is always negative. They don't like this. This is boring. This is hate. This is garbage. SmackDown was trash. This was, the storyline stuck. AEW was too long and boring. Negative. I think they say you can't cry wolf on everything. So that's why they truck through and they go ahead and they give us the stuff. Do you think I'm a little far off, or you think or I'm far-fetching?
You're not that far off, but I think it's more just content to just see what sticks. They just want to know what can we get financially. Like, okay, let's give them this. Let's go with that. Let's give them this. But I will say the best thing I saw out of Unreal was the highlight of the younger talents. That's my biggest thing I would take from. Even though I hate this show, I wish it would be canceled. But if you're gonna go this route, highlight the younger talents to get called up to the main roster, and that gives you more of a sense of growing with the product, if that makes sense. Like you see where the future is going. Because they focused on the younger talents and they focused on John Cena pretty much. By the way, John Cena is full of shit, but that's neither here nor there. But I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I can't stand John Cena on this show. But you can go ahead. I could talk about an hour.
No. But I want to talk about that as well. But let me ask this: what would be? I know you don't like it, period. But would you like to see more episodes based on the focus on talent development, creative meetings, or what it takes to put on a premium live event?
I would say probably how to put on a premium live event, because we know you put all the ads in here to finance it. How do you put this stuff together? And I want to compare it to like how it was in the past. How did you put on the pay-per-view, say, in your house in '96 compared to WrestleMania 42? I know they're completely two different. You got an A show and a B, PLE, whatever you want to call it. But how did you do that? Like, what's the difference? Like, what was the the best way I like to watch the AGTV shows, the House Hunters and stuff like that. You know how they break down the house to the bare bones. It's just like, this is why the house is $650,000 and this and that. If they broke stuff down like that, I would be more interested in that show. I really would.
Okay. And I want to ask this to Chris. You saw Triple H pivoting or seeing all the different injuries, Pivot Levesque, that's where his nickname comes from. Pivoting all the injuries and seeing how they did and making the decisions where, shit, he had this one in mind. This one got hurt. You can't account for injuries in the professional wrestling game. And these decisions got to be made pretty much instantaneously, or what direction. Now that you see, has Unreal helped you to a degree to appreciate that, or he's still getting the slings and arrows that he earned by the IWC for the lack of creative and decision making?
I mean, to a degree, because again, this is the one time I will use a fucking football reference for wrestling. The one time. If I'm coaching and I have my star quarterback and I have a game plan for the next 3 weeks on these teams, obviously he can go down. I got to fill him, replace the yada yada. I could see why the same thing here. Triple H has plans for Braun and Bronson, all these people, they get hurt. He has to pivot. Yeah, a little bit. I still think it's too much. I still don't want to see it, but a little bit. I could, because again, I've always thought that Triple H isn't the all guy to be blamed on. It's from the beginning. So yeah, a little bit. I could appreciate that just a little bit, because again,
and I'm going to follow up about your football analogy. Triple H is the head coach, and if his coordinators aren't giving him the right game plan for his team to execute, and not changing and not pivoting for the game plan against the team that they can't. There's this team that's back in the box. And well, you got to do some play action pass. This is where Triple H has to go to his coaching staff and say, in this case, the writing team, I need something. Yeah, we're gonna get there. We're still gonna pass. We're still gonna pass on third down. I need you to design me a fucking better play so we can execute on third down to get the first down. And I think this is what Triple H needs to hold his team to a fire, and to the writers, creative, even agents. Hey, you guys got to get me a better way to get this first down, because this is not working right now. Or it's not hitting. We're getting 9 yards when we need 10. And guess what? We're punting. Fair enough, Cross?
This fair. Since we went to football, I'm gonna go to everybody's favorite football movie. Y'all remember the Titans?
I was just gonna say, I hope you were talking about that one.
Yes. Do you remember when Julius says attitude reflects leadership? You remember that? You remember that quote? I believe Triple H has become very laissez-faire in his leadership, because TKO keeps telling him we're breaking in all this money. We got profits beyond belief. We got this ad, and we got Saudi money, and we got these people giving us money. Don't worry about it. We're doing well. So long as he's laissez-faire, the creative team's going to be laissez-faire, because no one has any pressure tied to them. Nobody. Until I hear Nick Khan says, well, our creative is not doing that well. We need Paul to fire him up. Until I hear a quote like that, or I hear Ari Emanuel come out and say, man, our storylines have sucked the last quarter. Until I start hearing a quote like that you're not going to see Triple H or any of his creative cohorts feel any heat.
Triple H is, he's the head coach. He's Mike McCarthy with the Cowboys, and TKO is Jerry Jones, since we're still in the football analogy. And Jerry Jones wants his Jerry Jones wants his way. That's what this
How
is.
about those Cowboys?
America, I can't believe they're America. The fact that they're still quoted as America's team is a fucking disgrace.
Jerry Jones and his glory. I love glory hole.
Fucking disgrace.
Well, hopefully they don't. Hopefully this doesn't disgrace the WWE too much, where the fans are appalled. I think this is my opinion. If you're a WWE fan or diehard, you might watch it because it's all because of the 3 call letters. If you're a wrestling fan, you don't like it.
Yes.
And if you're a casual, you're gonna watch
fair.
it.
That's fair.
Because
I think that's where we're at.
Because I liked the Hulk Hogan documentary. That was fine, because it was pretty good. That was good. That was good content, and you knew the WWE was going to protect Hogan much as they could in that documentary.
Yeah.
When it comes to Unreal, you can't be protecting something that's supposed to be behind the scenes. If you're going to really show this, the closet, the skeletons where the bodies are buried per se, and in the bones of this, you can't be so contrived. It can't be that way. So that's why I'll never like this show. That's the biggest reason why.
So let me ask it. It's a show. It's not. They never put it as a documentary. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know the question. I'm asking the question. Honest. I'm not trying to be comical.
If I'm under Netflix category, I am 85% sure that it is under the documentary category.
Yeah.
Okay.
It might say it probably says docu-series.
Docu-series, yes. This is like in the beginning, this is a Netflix docu-series. Yes.
Okay. So it doesn't have to be factual.
No, it does not have
taking place doesn't have to be factual. I wish they would put that, but they're not going to do it because it's.
I mean, Kev, this is the land of make believe anyway. So
of course,
it's hard to use the term factual in wrestling. It's hard.
No, and that's why we go back to Dark Side of the Ring, where Bully Ray had said something on yesterday. I don't know if you caught it, Chris. He would love to have Dixie Carter on. She's more than welcome. I don't know now with the way WWE narrative WWE Radio, that there is more. That is not the full truth of that 3-part with Jeff Jarrett's TNA's version. There's more. That's where Jeff Jarrett's eyes.
See, Bully, this is where Dixie should have just fucking went on Dark Side of the Ring and spoke her truth. That's a Dixie Carter problem. That's not a Dark Side of the Ring problem.
No, but getting others to talk.
How is it how's it the producer's fault that Dixie didn't
No.
want to show up and serve truth?
Right.
That's why I don't agree with Bully Ray on that. Same thing for Kurt Angle. If he's looked at it a certain perspective, he should have came on and told his truth. And again, people are still caught up on they missed a lot about TNA. It wasn't a fucking dark side of the ring of TNA wrestling. It was a dark side of the ring of Jeff Jarrett's perspective and Jeff Jarrett's history with TNA wrestling.
Right.
I don't understand what these people don't understand about that. Watch the damn show. They watched the show because they wanted insight about TNA. That's not what they're getting. That's not what they advertised.
It's a story of what Jeff Jarrett lived.
Dark side of the ring, in my opinion, look, I could be glazing in and I could be biased because I started watching it right when it came out. But I'll tell you right now, it is one of the more realist, which is why I love it. In my opinion, it is the most realist documentary you'll find right now. Why? When I see these WWE produced documentaries, they're great production, they're great, yada yada. They get the guest, but who knows who the fuck is back there controlling the shit, right? These two producers, Evan and Jason from Dark Side of the Ring, they're just like us. They're just like us who said, yo, let's go start a production. Let's start this and see what we could do. They answer to a network, which if Vice, I don't really think they give a shit what's put on, because considering they did a whole 2-part episode about the Benoit stuff. So Vice is all on board with it. So they called the shots and they're fans. So they could really put whatever they want. They don't have to answer to, well, you can't say this, you can't say this, or I can't have you on. That's why when you see these people on Dark Side of the Ring, when especially the ones that are no longer with us, oh my God, how the fuck did they get? Oh, he's on the doc. Oh, you get these long lost daughters, the daughters that you never heard of, and the fuck. No other really docuseries is doing that because they know that they're going to limit them. They can't speak their truth. With Dark Side of the Ring, the producers let you speak your truth. That's just, again, I don't know this for a fact. That's just from watching it since it first came out and watching all the other ones. That's the difference I see. I think Dark Side of the Ring is number one right now. Because
they're trying to keep their integrity as a journalistic journalism about looking and speaking the truth, finding out the truth, not being censored, not being altered, or their truth being altered. That's number one rule of journalism. You got to make sure you speak the truth and to stand by your integrity of anything that you're reporting.
And you can't be biased towards another. Why do you think Diana Rossi is getting so much shit for her hanging out with Mike Verbal? It might not be a big thing. Everybody's, they're just adults hanging out. I understand that, but when she reports on his team,
conflict of interest.
That is thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Because I was just about to say that. It is, you can't do this. You can't do this.
No, you can't have a variety of opinion.
No, if you're in the media, you can't. You can be friends with them. I'm but wrestling media is not like that. All these fucking outlets are still biased towards it, whether they're not AEW Fightful presented by AEW, or Busted Open now presented by WWE. But let's just pretend this WWE Radio didn't happen for a second. They're still have their ways, right? We need the common ground back again, and that's why I think Dark Side of the Ring is the best docuseries in wrestling right now.
I can see your point. I can see your point on that.
What other docuseries is going to dedicate a whole 2 episodes for these graphic incidents? The Owen Hart. They had Martha Hart sit down for 2 fucking episodes to talk about everything. They show all the court documents on these episodes. It's just so well done. And I'm sorry to go on the yap, but you guys, if you have not checked Dark Side of the Ring, you guys have got to. I recommend the Benoit, Owen Hart, New Jack. Those are the 4. And the Brian Pillman. Those would be the 5 I recommend you guys.
And one more, the Jimmy Superfly Snooker one.
Yes, the Jimmy Superfly Snooker one. Where they interview the girl's sister too.
They're all good because they're journalism. They're trying to uncover the truth. They want you to see the narrative and the truth behind of the tragedy and the situation that has occurred. Some people might say, it might be too negative, but they're trying to get you to the light where you can have closure on what happened, not just speculate or speak about out of the side of your ass of what might have happened.
Because every single ending to a like when someone's like they do it to the people that are no longer here at the end, they always go like the cut scene before they go to commercial. It's always like, and then I found out, and then they talk about on this day, this is like you get fans get closure, and and again they have the daughters and the moms and the families telling you what happened on this day, where they found them. So yeah, honestly sometimes it's hard to watch sometimes. Like the Benoit one was so hard to watch the first time I ever watched it, because like they got Nancy's sister, they got all these people in it. Yeah. I'm like, whoa, like yeah, you got like they do a great job over there. Great job. I just don't like this one because it's current. They're currently doing this show right now on Monday Night Raw. How many times have we said, even when we used to do the watch alongs consistently before we had all these other programs where it's like, oh, they're booking this shit for fucking Unreal to tell the story.
Right.
It's current. All these other stories are past. That's why they're more interesting to watch. This is shit that's happened 10 years ago, and we're now figuring out now this is current, guys. That's why I don't like it personally. I like some parts of it, but
I know you mentioned about John Cena. He's taking a lot of backlash. Episode 1 was the why. John Cena trying to explain the why this was done. Why was this done? Why was that done? To me, it feels like revisionist history. He's just making excuses on that docuseries. I love John Cena. Don't get me wrong, but it felt like he was just putting the why to fit the narrative.
John Cena, in my eyes, is a snake oil salesman. That's why he's selling you Club WWE. Every time I see John Cena, he just want to take $1 out of my pocket. I would rather not see John Cena anymore. Honestly, I just want to know that he's alive and kicking. He can come around once or twice a year to come wave his hand at us and say how he's doing in real life. But
ladies and gentlemen, we just lost the Honda sponsorship.
I don't want to see this anymore because every time he comes on here, he's going to tell us lies. Like John Cena could go run for president right now. That's how much of a liar he is when it comes to WWE. He's terrible. Go ahead.
Somebody, because somebody asked at a convention at the Fanatics Fest, was like, hey, what are your top? Because he needed with him not answering the questions, and he's like, he actually answered the question. He gave 5 jerseys, but I think somebody in the comments was like, John Cena really wanted to answer, that's a great question. I think all these jerseys, they play a big moment. And without all these jerseys, where would you guys remember? You guys got to, he would give you some bullshit like that and be like, that's why I think all my jerseys are the best I've ever worn. Like he's a great salesman. He should just be a Honda district sales manager of Honda.
Yeah, but he
acting and wrestling.
He's selling you cars. He's selling you bread. He's making movies. It's just
the Chime app.
Yeah, Chime.
Oh yeah, Chime.
Yeah. Again, $1. He's trying to get $1 out of you. When it comes to John Cena, you know how they used to call Terry Bollea Hulk Hogan out on all his lies. We need to get that. We need to get a meter. A ticker.
So is he like the LeBron now?
He's the new Hulk Hogan. He's the new Hulk Hogan right now, right? Yes, you're right.
Yes,
because that too. Because I'm thinking about because everyone's like LeBron, where he's like, oh, I knew it. I knew it one day. I knew it. One day I was looking at him and I was like, I knew he was gonna be great. Or then where they like catch him reading the book. Hey, LeBron, how many books? I just started. I'm not there. Like that's what John Cena is going to be.
That's exactly what
John Cena is going to be.
And have you ever noticed with John Cena, like he's this lovable dude with the kids, and I know again what he does with Make-A-Wish. I'm not trying to say poo-poo it or all that with kids and all that, but when you see him out in the wild, that dude is the most curmudgeon person out there, because if you take a picture without asking, he confronts you. If you take a video, and I know you put people in their boundaries and their place, but there's a lot of John Cena looks like he's a mean motherfucker. And then when the camera's on, he's hey, he looks like holy shit. Talk about schizophrenic. from John.
I'm-
There's
I
a
mean,
lot of
I
that.
get that vibe.
I would say this after taking all those bumps and picking up Big Show and all these big ass men. You see how he walks? I'd probably be a curmudgeon too. My body hurts. Like my body hurts like shit. And then I have to tell all these lies because I'm the corporate man. Man, that's a lot of weight that's on John Cena right now. That's why he's a curmudgeon, man. That's why.
Although I'm gonna tell you, I've said this many times. My personal experience with John Cena. Well, I told you I was wearing a referee shirt on the NXT, the NXT, the NXT Mania when they went the first time they went head again against AEW on that Tuesday. He was there, and we got that famous picture where he's like referee, and that was why the camera was on. But the one thing that won me over outside of the cameras was in NXT you have to wait for your bus, and I happened to be on the last bus, bus 4. That means you have to wait for the cycle. You have to sit there and wait. So we're waiting there for the bus. Waiting for it to get on the bus, and out of somewhere, and the guy does. I gotta give him credit. He does drive a fucking Honda. He stopped in his Honda. He rolled down the window, and he goes, "Yo, referee, you still the two, bro." That was I didn't expect that from him. Usually, the fan is the overzealous asshole that wants the picture, and he gets mad and he turns on, and the wall comes up. He actually was nice enough to stop the car, roll down his window, and actually engage with me as a fan, which is cool. But when I see other stuff, though, like that time he was having lunch with his friend and the guy wanted a picture, ask him, and he's like, "Yo, I can see," he kind of shut him down. Yo, I'm having lunch with a friend. Can I have some privacy? He was really not so friendly. You know, when you want something from him as a fan and approach him, you got to be real careful when you're like, "Yo, you filming me in the video store," and he's just totally won't. He's very dismissive. I think John I can see that from John, and I just get those kind of vibes like. You got to wait for him to engage with you, because if you want to engage with him, good luck, because you're not going to get it.
I believe it because trust me, almost 30 years of dealing with wrestling fans, I'd be standoffish too. Because if you just go by what you see in the IWC, these people have no lives. They're very parasocial. I'm like, that's a majority of the wrestling fandom. I want to go probably 80-20 to 80-20 or 75-25. There's not many reasonable people in this space. So when it comes to John Cena being standoffish with those people, I understand it. And it just reminds me of the hit Eminem song, "I am whoever you say I am." If you go and listen to that song, he has a line in there that says, "I can't take a without someone trying to bother me." So I get it. I couldn't fathom it because I probably like Kanye West. I probably just steal off a swing on paparazzi or something. I couldn't deal with some of these people. I promise you. We are not advocating violence here, just letting you know. But yes, I could not deal with any of these people like that sometimes. I couldn't.
We'll see. We'll find out with John Cena. We'll see the Unreal situation. Look, we'll tell you, watch it and rewatch it. We gave you our thoughts on Unreal. We gave you our thoughts with the Busted Open. Let's talk about the product. We talk a little bit about NXT. Let's talk about the product. This one out of Thursday Night Impact. Again, I've got to say with the Knockouts television title, Chris, I wasn't expecting Wendy Chu and Elena Black to have that draw. And we were talking about that house. How are we going to get Elena Black into the world title picture? She got a beatdown from the Knockout champion there, Xia Brookside, at the end of the match there. The only thing I had a little bit of a disconnect, Haas, and was Elena Black shaking Wendy Chu's hand. I thought Elena Black was his heel.
Exactly.
That was my huge. Yep, I was just gonna say that
right
too.
back, guys.
And I was gonna say that too. Why the fuck is Xia Brookside attacking Elena Black? I'm so sick of these. Because we're gonna see it right now in AEW. What is up if you see somebody being crowned or you see something being set up crowned like in your hometown? Why do you always have to be a face? Why?
I don't know.
Why does everybody have to be a baby face winning in their hometown? Why can't they be a heel?
I don't understand it. I don't.
Why can't Logan Paul win the world title in Cleveland? Cleveland fucking hates him. All he has to do is go out there and say, "Oh my God, I love this place, but let's be honest, this is a dump. It's not like something. Just Haas, I'm sick of this in wrestling where it's like, oh, the guy's gonna win the baby. Like Chad Gable really can't go as a heel into Minnesota and beat Penta. Elena Black in this situation can't go into a heel and win this title or a TV title. I'm disconnected.
The thing about it, we're treating adults like babies. Like everybody wants this feel good story. Everybody wants to go home smiling and it was so great. I'm going to tell you, I went against the grain on this. You remember when John Cena? I know we finished with Unreal. They asked John Cena about the Brock Lesnar WrestlePalooza match. It was panned by everyone. Everyone hated it. They're like, my hero getting did like this. I was a contrarian. I loved it. I thought it was riveting television. I saw adults and babies crying. That's emotion being evoked out of wrestling. It was wonderful. When I see Brock take John to Suplex City, I wanted to cry because it was wonderful to see. Because it actually brought something out of those people. If you saw John Cena win a 20-minute match against Brock Lesnar, that's wild to say because Brock Lesnar ain't going 20 minutes with anyone these days. But yeah, if John Cena wins a 10-minute match,
not even with Sable.
No.
No.
The stamina for anything, Brock, unless he's out there shooting deer in Saskatchewan, he'll do that for 20 minutes. But a wrestling match, but anyway, if we would have saw John Cena beat him out there with all those kids, you would have just saw the status quo. When Brock decimated him, that was one of the greatest pictures I saw all of 2025. I stand by that. But go back to what Chris was saying. Yes, we got to stop with this trope. This trope has to die. Like because people, it's such a stock emotion. No one's actually feeling that type of stuff. Like, oh man, they just want to get takes off. No one's actually giving you their real emotions behind it because there's no emotion behind it because you know it's coming. Like there's no surprise to it. If let's just say I'll just use AEW for an example. If Mercedes lost at home last week in Boston, that would have caught all of them people off guard. Would have caught them off guard. And you would actually got a real emotion behind it because the hometown girl lost. And she's a heel. It would have been worthy of a loss. But no, you can't have it. But so when it goes to what you saying about Zaya Brookside getting beaten up on Elena Black, you trying it seems like you're trying to make a face out of her. And
I just don't know why in wrestling as a whole, but now I'm talking about here. I just don't know why she can't go into lockdown as a heel. And look, I understand I don't want the heel versus heel, and Zaya's already that heel. So why can't she just win the KO the Knockouts TV title? The world title is gonna be there. After that's just me. That's just me. She does not need to rush to win that Knockouts title right away. They have this whole new championship. Let her breathe with that. I still think Zaya needs to let her Knockouts title run breathe. This is why I don't like this. I don't want to see a heel versus heel either. Go ahead, Hoss.
Chris and Kev, do you think they got buyer's remorse by giving that title to Zaya Brookside?
But there was no one else.
There was no one else.
Not Wendy. Zai Ali Ying. That's a Tommy Dreamer.
That's why I think it's honestly Kevin Hoss. That's why I'm confused on why this Knockouts TV Championship is even happening.
Because they're going to elevate another lady. Whether we'll get that in a second. They're going to elevate someone else. And the storyline is, and I'm going to go back to what you talk about Mercedes losing in Boston. It's okay to lose. How good did that do for Mike Santana last year? We were in the building. It didn't. Not all the time. I'll give you a specific. It just depends on where you are and the moment if you pull the trigger.
Right. My argument is why can't, because I think you stepped out at this time. My argument is why can't people win championships in their hometown as heels? That's my argument. Because I think you stepped out around this time.
Yes.
Why can't we have? Because I compared it to AEW, right? I want Ospreay to win the title as a heel in Wembley. I understand Chad Gable is where he is and why he's a babyface now. But let's say in another world, why couldn't Chad Gable be heel winning it in Minnesota? This is the same thing I see here now. Why can't we have heels winning it in their hometown? Imagine Logan Paul wins it in Cleveland, right? Because he's a heel and Cleveland hates him. They're going to get boos. You might get some cheers. You're going to get something. It's not just this happy ending every time. I want, like, I don't know if that makes sense, but I just feel like every time somebody is either chases to win in their hometown or wins it in their hometown, they have to be the fucking face.
Because the city, regardless of what they do, they're going to cheer it regardless. They don't want to see the bad person, the heel, get really overzealous cheers. I don't know. That's just.
You're totally right.
At the end of the day, you still got a lot of people from the old guard, like a Pritchard in creative. You got a Heyman. You still got a lot of old people in there with a lot of old mentality still.
Yes, I'm happy you brought that up. I'm happy you brought that up because I forgot to say, because we were talking about Unreal, Michael Hayes still looks like a douche.
Michael Hayes is still there. You got a lot of people still with that old mentality, which sometimes still works, but they still have that same old thought process. And that's why that's happening.
Who they learn that from? Who they learn it from? Because they learned it from Vince. Vince had your ass getting beat at your hometown. He had you getting beat.
And they want to do something different. That's what it is. They were like, we were so tired. They want to distance themselves so much from Vince McMahon that they're doing everything.
Oh, he's coming back soon, pal. He's free. He's gonna become back do-rag Vince, Vinnie Mac, baby.
I create my competition. Report.
TKO, I'm here.
Yeah, wait until he buys AEW. People are gonna melt.
He don't have the pockets deep enough to do it. He don't. Tony Khan go outbid him every time.
Tony Khan already had a meeting. He already had a meeting with Shane McMahon. Tony Khan's father was like, "Let's get out of this shit. We can't. This is not profitable." I can see that. No,
Vince wouldn't be involved with any other wrestling company if it's not TKO.
I know.
Or
WWE. We joke.
Trust me. That would fucking. That's a real wrestling war.
Yes, me. That
is a real wrestling war.
Trust me, I will not be cupping the clip. No, it's I don't see Vince McMahon ever getting back in the wrestling business. You have a better chance of Freddie. You have a Freddie Prinze Jr. will have a successful wrestling company before Vince McMahon.
Everybody, all these people want wrestling companies. I mean, Billy Corgan's still doing his thing, smashing pumpkins, smashing Crockett's.
And he's now he's collaborating with the WWE. You're gonna see more WWE wrestlers on the NWA show. No wonder why somebody's changing their tune lately, other than Dave LaGreca about WWE.
So yeah, okay, so yeah.
Get Corgan loves WWE.
Is that why Nick Aldis is getting this match with Gunther?
Could be. And then you got Adam Pearce, who's a former NWA World Champion.
They name dropped NWA on SmackDown last night. So
they did.
They're gonna send a low-key legend back over there.
Speaking of NWA, that shit's on in about 45 minutes.
45 minutes, yeah. And then at 6 o'clock, we got MLW Fusion. And don't forget, Mondays at 6 o'clock with Mr. Thomas and Jeff Littman. They'll be covering MLW Breakdown. We have a Mega Mets podcast who will be talking a little bit about Redemption prediction card later on tonight, as well as he's covering the G1 Climax. I don't know how much climaxing he's getting out of that. And also the Pro Wrestling.
Oh, he's getting a big climax out of that. He's climaxing. All right.
Hey, but Marie, if you're still there, how long is the G1 climax? How long is that?
It feels like the length of the World Cup.
Boy, it looks like a Blue Chew.
The G1, the G1, G5, whatever the fuck it is.
They can't find the G spot. You know what? All of that, and they still can't find the G spot.
Nope. There's no climax in this G tournament. Just a bunch of fucking men.
We're off the rails.
I think so. On this crazy train.
Okay.
Oh, they'll be on. Yeah. That's the best way to describe it. Crazy train. There you go.
Well, guys, can we talk about how bad WWE wrestling
Monday Night RAW was?
Raw was bad. SmackDown
was bad.
Wasn't bad. Wasn't that much better.
Dynamite sucked. TNA was the best show of the week.
By far.
By far.
Damn.
TNA was the best show of the week. I only liked NXT. I checked it out to see what Santana did. But yes, TNA that was the best show of the week because Dynamite was fucking boring too.
I mean, they tried with their angles, but man, WWE shit the bed on Monday and Friday.
I just have a lot of questions about Monday.
All right, go ahead. I want to hear it, you guys. Go ahead.
Why does Braun Breaker feel like the least important guy in his group? That's a big problem for me. We started off with that. I had some stuff I had written down that I wanted to question, but that was the big one. Ever since this new Maxine and Theory thing, what the fuck's Braun Breaker doing? Now he's feuding with Tozawa. Kev, I know you're Braun Breaker's biggest man. You're the same guy that went on WWE TV and called him the future. And he's teaming with Otis, or going against Otis and Tozawa, and he's the second guy in the tag team with fucking Austin Theory, the guy that I told you. What did I tell you he was going to be for the Vision? He's going to be the guy that takes the bumps. Yeah, I didn't know he was going to be the main guy in that group over Braun. Did his hernia injury hurt him a little bit?
I have a theory about this. I have a theory about
we saw a little bit about it on Unreal, but real quick, I don't want to get too. Actually, you know what? We'll start off with that because I have a lot more I didn't like about the show. But I want your I'll start off with the Braun Breaker stuff. That's my first problem.
I believe since Heyman separated from the group about a week or two ago, I believe they're gonna have this tag match with Otis and Tozawa on Monday. That's gonna probably end in shenanigans. They're gonna add that to SummerSlam, and Otis and Tozawa are gonna win at SummerSlam. I think you're gonna have the Braun Breaker break from the Vision there at SummerSlam. With him losing to the Alpha Academy is gonna be the final straw. He's not gonna be able to handle it. He's gonna probably destroy Austin Theory. Paul Heyman comes out there like, I knew you were gonna do that, my boy. Come back to the real Vision. I think that's what's gonna happen.
I hope so. I need Braun with Heyman. I don't want Braun away without Heyman. I need Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman together. I was very excited to see that when we saw Paul Heyman pretty much went and recruited him in NXT. That time when he was in his corner when he fought Carmelo Hayes. Braun needs to be with Paul Heyman, break away from the Vision, let the Vision do the thing. To me, I don't know where that leaves Big Brunson Reed, who's supposed to be returning anytime soon. So I'm very confused. I don't know what direction they're going, guys. I'm very confused when it comes to Maxine, Logan Paul, and I don't know. I'm very confused. I don't know, and I don't know if the creative has a long end game of all this, because it's hurting. Whatever is going on, it's hurting Braun hard. And Braun, you shouldn't be wasting his prime and gearing him up to the face of the company, because you got wrestlers leapfrogging him, like an Obafemi, like a Trick Williams, where Braun Breaker, should have won that world title. She should have won the Royal Rumble. You know how much that disheartened me when I saw that on Unreal? He was going to win the Royal Rumble. It's like, that really disheartened me. I love Braun. But next to Mike Santana, Braun is the two guys.
That's why I wanted to start off with that for this show, because there's something else I want to talk about. But yes, I noticed that when they were in the promo, I was like, why the fuck does Braun Breaker feel like the sidekick of this group?
I mean, think about it. Braun Breaker's the sidekick of the Vision. Gunther's the sidekick of SmackDown. Those are the two guys who are suffering the most with creative, that had so much potential coming into this year. Those two guys right there.
Mm-hmm. And if I were to tell you to ever watch a match in the 2.0 era that was kind of kicking it off, Gunther versus Braun Breaker, where Braun defending his title before Gunther leaves to the main roster. Fucking match was great. Braun Breaker won that match with the Steiner recliner. My goodness. I was like, wow, with Gunther. Those are two talents that they have there that they're wasting their time.
Again, and these are supposed to be Triple H's boys. He cannot book more than 3 stars at one time. He just can't. They can't focus on it. Because truthfully, he doesn't even have to book Roman Reigns. He's booking himself. He doesn't have to book CM Punk or Cody Rhodes. They're booking themselves. But he can't book Trick Williams, Braun Breaker, Obafemi, Javon Evans, and any of the women at this point. Can't book any of them. So I don't know what creative is doing. It is the so-called stars. And another person that's suffering with this, Jay Cargill. She's suffering with this too.
He has a variety of wrestlers, talents there, Chris. He's not utilizing them.
He has a big load of wrestlers. Pause. Of wrestlers.
I want him to say the word. Say the variety. Come on.
Right. No. I'm not. See, I almost tried it right there because I had the confidence because I just heard you say it. And yeah, I it was bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. But yes, after Braun's Intercontinental title run, it just, for me, it's kind of, again, Seth getting hurt in the beginning didn't help either. So this goes back beyond just Braun getting hurt, in my opinion.
No, you know what hurt? You know what, to my opinion, what hurt Braun Breaker? When Seth got hurt and that internet picture of him with the world title looked so fucking good that it spooked the WWE creative. WWE creative, wait, he got over on his own. He wasn't supposed to hold that title, and now they kind of like punishing him.
Do you think that Monday Night Raw, whoever's making it, writing it, do you think they don't want to push Obafemi and Braun Breaker at the same time?
No, they don't. They want to avoid that match as much as possible.
Why?
I don't. Your question is as good as you not able to pronounce variety. I don't know why. I can't explain it, Chris.
I can't explain it either. Just like I can't explain why I can't say that fucking word. Why can't we go ahead, Hoss? It's ridiculous to me. Why can't we have Obafemi and Braun Breaker? Because they're pushing Obafemi.
I have an idea.
Like, since we're pushing this guy, we can't push the other guy we fucking have. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna have a big rant after SummerSlam when we possibly get Sami Zayn gets a rematch or Finn Balor goes for the WWE Championship and Obafemi still doesn't have a title shot. You're gonna hear a big epic rant from me because if you coming out of SummerSlam after Oba beats the piss out of Brock in Hell in a Cell, I don't care who wins that number one contender match against Sami and Finn Balor. I would have Obafemi come and decimate both of those men and say, get the hell out of my way. Give me my title shot. I don't care if it's Punk, Cody, whoever. I want my title shot. I just destroyed both your number one contenders to do it. That's good television. But they are allergic to good television here. They're allergic to it.
Oh, here, Chris, you know why? I think I was thinking about it real quick and why they don't go Braun and Obafemi. Because if they or any of the big names, because if they are bigger and better than Seth and Roman or Punk and Cody, look at these guys. They're younger. They're better. They're more popular. So what do you do with the older people? If they can't shove them in the main event,
cut them.
See,
that's the problem. They don't want to do that.
TKO will.
They don't want a Chris Jericho situation here in the WWE.
Why can't Braun and Oba? Why can't Braun? Why can't they work?
I agree with
guys. What we already have Oba working with Braun, but no, we can't have. And we just had Braun working with Seth. Why can't we push him up just one more fucking notch? And I know we all feel this way. That's why I'm kind of just throwing it out there. You have two guys, and it's like, oh, we can only push one or the other. Two guys being the future, what they look, where they came from NXT. It's like they came up at the same damn time.
You see that with Trick and Mello. Mello's not even on the SummerSlam card.
In the SummerSlam card, that's a whole nother fucking conversation. But
why? You didn't have him in WrestleMania, now you don't have him in SummerSlam? Why?
Oh, they had to get Corbin versus Trick at SummerSlam.
And I like that Corbin is back into the fold, but he didn't deserve that SummerSlam match.
What did he do? All he did was come in after the match was over.
No, it's not like he's a skyscraper.
No, you could have easily given me right. You could have easily given me Mello. Yeah, you could have easily given me Trick versus Mello at SummerSlam and have Baron Corbin come out, whoever, which would be Carmelo Hayes. But because I understand we don't want to see the match right away, but it looks like they're just trying to dodge it as much as they fucking can. That's why at this point I want them to have the match on the main roster. And SummerSlam would have been the point, the place to do it. You're gonna tell me what's a better program? Trick Williams, Lil Yachty, and Baron Corbin, or Trick Williams, Lil Yachty, and Carmelo Hayes?
Carmelo Hayes, because we've been following that story. If you've been listening, watching SmackDown during the summer, you've been following that.
You've been following that, and I mean, I think it could see Baron Corbin. I don't think he knows about Lil Yachty's music. Just from the stuff I see on his Instagram, he's not. My point is, I think if you want Lil Yachty to really be involved with this, I think Carmelo Hayes, like, he obviously probably knows Lil Yachty. He could say some stuff that could get a ooh and a ah. Like, I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, because if I'm looking at it for TV, okay, you're gonna have Lil Yachty do most of the talking for Trick, yada yada, and then Baron's, he's gonna be talking Lil Yachty, but none of it's gonna be relatable or whatever. I don't know. I just think it's good television for all three going into SummerSlam, but that obviously wasn't. They obviously don't think that. They've
been playing up the Justin Jefferson thing recently. Like, he's the one that's selling the $25 seats with his code and everything. If you're gonna play up into the younger demographic with Justin Jefferson, you got to have people that are around the age of Justin Jefferson to be pushing on these shows, and that's where you got to go. Because trust me, Justin Jefferson can get people watching your show. It can happen. But I think Triple H and creative don't trust these young guys to carry programs. And
the producers don't, because
J Jets. That's the promo
That's
code.
right.
Yeah. So
ETS.
Like I believe I think Michael Hayes scared Triple H with some of his ideas when he said Jey Uso should win the Royal Rumble, even though I agree with that. That should have happened. It should have happened. I agree with that. But people hate
It was a good move.
They
was a good move at that time.
They pay him for it. They do, because they say Michael Hayes doesn't have good ideas. But he's like a squirrel. You find a nut sometimes. It happens. But
look, Haas, a broken clock is correct twice a day.
There you go. Because they say it was Michael Hayes' idea to have Brock to decimate Cena, right? I agree with the move. Everybody wants to be fairy tales and roses. They want to see John Cena win everything. It just can't happen like that. But I don't think creative trust these young guys to carry these programs. I don't think they don't trust them to have 20, 30-minute matches. And we may not see these. A lot of people be talking about Obafemi doesn't have stamina to have these long matches. They think it's just Brock. Some people think it's just Brock.
I disagree.
You got other people blaming Oba.
He does. But when creative puts him in these fucking squash matches every week, like they did on Monday night with JD, when he's in these squash matches that go nowhere, that's why people are gonna think he can't hang or go more than 5 minutes, because creative doesn't let him. When he's not going in his match with Brock Lesnar, are like 9 minutes long. They haven't put Obafemi in a position to show that he could keep up in the ring for more than 20 minutes. That's the problem.
Yeah, because the WrestleMania match was 5 minutes. Clash of Italy was like maybe 9-10 minutes at most.
And he has squash matches on Monday Night Raw.
Hell in the Cell ain't gonna be that long either. Hell in the Cell might be 8 to 12.
Oh, dude, they're on ESPN. Of course, they're gonna finish
on ESPN. They're like 15 minutes,
and then
with intros.
Yeah, and then they're gonna have that stupid 6-man tag team match be the next one, which I think is atrocious.
Which one?
Are they not doing the Usos and Fatu and Solo?
Oh, they're doing that one.
That bullshit match that makes no sense.
To me, that's getting LA Knight on TV,
and that's getting the heat.
I don't get how Solo, Royce Key, and LA Knight are all of a sudden growing together. But I think they're trying to build for War Games. But I don't get it. I still not seeing
all babyface War Games. I wouldn't like that. It doesn't make sense when at the end of the show. I'm sorry if I kind of jumped ahead from
go for it.
But when I watched the end of this show in this main event, okay, we got the babyface. We just had Solo talking to Seth on behalf of his cousin, which I think is so stupid. And whatever, they had this at the end. You have LA Knight, who's been feuding with this group for how long has he been feuding with the Bloodline in the Vision, whatever, but the Bloodline specifically, right? He's been feuding and beefing with them for a long time. So he's the baby faces, but we get Yeet Man to come out, and everybody's all happy to see the baby faces get down. The baby faces down. I don't know who to root for. I'm so confused on what this is, but I don't know what's going to come out of it. What's Royce Keys? Is it Royce Keys versus Jacob? Is it?
It looks like that, especially what we saw on Friday.
Is it? What's LA Knight's goal out of it? Another big
I don't know
thing with the bloodline at War Games, like you mentioned, and you could not be far off. But again, I think that's lame. What's going on with this main event segment? What's going on with this 6-man tag team match? It feels like it's all over the place.
I'm gonna tell you. They prepared you this as Saturday night main event. You know, you brought out all the basketball players. You brought the Knicks. You had Cathhausen. You know how they go to positionless basketball? We're gonna have monikerless wrestling. There will be no faces. There will be no heels.
This whole card, that's why the cards we had Penta and Chad Gable hugging each other after their fucking match.
You just pick who you want to go for. That's all we're not going to direct you anywhere. We're going to treat you as adults. We're not going to give you a face, heel. No, choose your fighter. This is Mortal Kombat.
That's fine.
This is Street Fighter. This is a video game. You just pick who you want. There's no direction here. There's no story here.
So title. Like you said, Penta and Chad Gable hugging and being babyface. I don't know how you're gonna. Chad Gable just comes out of the major heel run. What can you done to spice it other than having a triple threat? And I don't think we wanted to see a triple threat for an Intercontinental title.
Penta should have lost. He should have lost.
Ethan Page should be the Intercontinental Champion.
Yes,
I could see that.
It should be. We should be getting Ethan Page versus Chad Gable.
Oh, you could have.
You answered it perfect. You answered it perfect.
You could have had Rusev. You know, him and Gable been going back and forth with trying to tap each other out and everything.
Yeah, that too.
You could have had the accolade versus the ankle lock. I mean,
give Rusev a 3-week title run.
Yes,
I mean you could do it for Sami Zayn. It wouldn't hurt.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Exactly. This would have made more sense in that way. But I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying too about what we have. You can't really pivot right there. You can't, Chad just came off this big heel run. Like, yeah, he's the clear face in this. He should be the clear face in this, but he's not.
Yes.
This should be about him finally getting his moment, but he beat Penta, a massive baby face.
Now you're hurting Penta.
Exactly. You're hurting Penta, but what if this match wasn't in Minnesota? You could also be hurting Chad Gable, who had all this momentum building up, coming on the main roster from AAA, yada yada. People wanted to see him win that. I was very vocal. I wanted him to win that gauntlet match, or everybody should be fired. And so he should be the clear face. But again, Penta, they could screw each other in a little bit, in the sense, in my opinion. Because when if they had this match again in Minnesota, everybody's going for Penta.
I'm in the minority. I hate Chad Gable's theme song. I want to fucking turn the TV
off.
When I hear that.
It's awful. It sounds like some shitty ass Kid Rock or something.
Get that shit off my television. That's a terrible song.
Another thing too. This is another wrestling promotion stealing the other one's homework. The whole Gable overhand clap. That's Willow's thing. That's Willow Nightingale's thing. But we got Chad Gable trying to get this over.
He's trying to do it because of the beat to the song is like, but I don't it's so stupid. No, I agree with you, Kev. You're not in the minority. I don't.
I hate that fucking theme song. This is why I'm like, I hate that fucking theme song. I mean, it's music in the WWE now sucks as it is, and then give him even more crap in Gable. But that, this should hurt. I don't know. It's gonna hurt. It's going to hurt Penta. Because they're going to try to. I don't want them. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want them to relegate Penta to be a tag team with his brother. I don't want to see the Lucha Brothers. I'm sorry, Cena have done that. Penta's having success as a singles. Why are we? Everybody wants to box him in as a fucking tag team when the company doesn't do nothing with tag teams. Why? Penta's over. Kids love it. He's great. People got the walk. Why? Why they want to relegate him to tag team? I don't know, Chris. I don't get it.
Kev, I'm going to tell you why. Because the old heads in creative do not see a luchador being the head of their division. He's maxed out.
It's not creative, Haas. It's the fans that are crying for freaking the Lucha Brothers. It's not creative. It's the fans. We got to see what Ray Phoenix. We need the Lucha Brothers.
They
Why?
want Ray Phoenix to do something. That's why.
Yeah, they don't want.
He's a champion. He's a cruiserweight champion. Guys,
they don't want that. They don't want Ray Phoenix to get cut. That's what it is. They don't want him to get cut. Because if
he's the champion, how's he not going to get cut? He's the champion in AAA as a cruiserweight.
No, I don't. For a company that clearly doesn't give a shit about tag team wrestling, I don't know why people want the Lucha Brothers back.
They want the Lucha Brothers. All we heard of WrestleMania. We got to be the Lucha Brothers. We need the Lucha Brothers. Why?
I'm not in the minority. I do not.
They don't do tag teams. The Lucha Brothers are about to get released.
Oh yeah, no, they're. Bro, everyone's talking about Enzo
machine
and
guns.
They're not gonna fucking be a tag team.
No, Big Cass is coming solo. They didn't mention both of them. They mentioned one. It's gonna be Big Cass by himself,
and that's gonna be a mistake because they're not gonna push. They're not gonna push him.
You're not enthusiastic of the education he got from the learning tree.
That was fucking bad. That was awful television.
You see, we needed some levity here. I thank you, Kevin.
Horrible television.
That was great. That was great. Oh, okay, guys, we got to talk about this. On Monday, there were no women's segments. You read? I want to say I saw Roxanne Perez and Raquel talk doing a commercial break. Now they got panned all over the internet. So Triple H course corrects on SmackDown. We got 3 women's matches, 3 of them. And a lot of people are saying, man, that was terrible television. So which one is it? Do you want more women's matches? Or do you not want what do
not
you
right
want?
now.
Because trouble.
My thing is here. Are we prepared to see Chelsea Green be named interim women's champion at SummerSlam?
You're damn fucking right I am.
Thank you. I thought we had it was on the same.
You are damn right I am. It is about time. Yes.
I wouldn't mind that one bit.
I wouldn't mind that one freaking bit.
The only issue I had, Chris, and us was, especially when we saw the backstage, you had it there, like you were talking about Braun Breaker and Obafemi. You had Blake Monroe confront Tiffany Stratton. That's the match that should have been done for SummerSlam.
I agree.
And you should have Kiana or JC Jane in this ladder match.
You should, yeah. And instead, they're doing a fucking 6-women tag, Fatal Influence versus Brie, Nikki, and Paige, all for Nikki to turn on her sister.
Yes.
You think Nikki's turning on her sister?
Yes.
Ooh.
Or no. She's turning on
right?
Saraya. I meant on Paige. On Paige, she's turning on
the Bella sisters. Don't like 3. You know, I know Saraya does.
I think the Bella twins will turn on Saraya. I don't know. What the fuck are them 3 ladies gonna do?
So then who's Saraya's gonna recruit? AJB? Or Bailey?
They may just pivot from the program altogether.
Yes. I'm thinking the same thing.
I think they're gonna push Paige as a single star after this.
Oh my god. Oh Jesus! No wonder people don't want to see women's fucking on Monday Night Raw. Then, if that's what we're getting,
you don't want to see Rampage.
Rampage Jackson?
No, the finishing Rampage. You want to see more of that?
I don't want to see it at all.
Yeah, you're gonna make Paige this baby face so she can get fed to Blake Monroe.
Ooh. What do you think about that?
This is good television. This is what we're doing. I hope this is what they're
my
doing.
house.
But yeah, the reason I said Chelsea Green because
so how come she bent over and Roller took over?
Oh man. But they have to. The only logical thing is to make Chelsea Green interim champion because you will diminish Charlotte if you make her champion to go lose to Rhea when she gets healthy. You can't have Rhea beat Jade Cargill 3 times. You can't have that. Nia Jax, nobody wants to see it, even though I'm a fan of Nia Jax. Tiffany Stratton and Rhea. Tiffany Stratton is she's already a champion. and she's not good enough as a baby face to get that feud going get that feud going. So go with Chelsea Green. Just
got one more spot. Julia is taking, I believe, is taking on who she's taking on. What was another lady that we don't hardly get to see much of?
It was Julia. Damn, who was that? I saw, they just announced that match. They
just announced it as well, and I apologize if I didn't put that on my notes because I just thought, is it really worthy?
Probably.
And I know a lot. I understand why wasn't Jordan Grace. This is where they could have had Jordan Grace in this match, in the tournament at least. People are complaining and worried about Jordan. I could be a little concerned if I'm Jordan Grace as well. But I know Julia's getting an opportunity. Who the hell she's taking on? I'm trying to look for it, man.
I got it. No, I don't. Never mind. Io Sky versus that's SummerSlam. Yeah, I'm.
We know it ain't Carrie Sang.
I'm not sure, honestly.
I saw it this morning. Me too.
I saw it this morning too. Last
it is Jordan Grace. It is Jordan.
Legend.
Last Legend. Last Legend. It is Last Legend. Yes, it is Last Legend. Now, could we have Last Legend getting turned on by Nia Jax? Because Nia Jax, after losing 2 qualifying matches with a lot of BS of Jay Cargill and her friends, she was very irate and pissed off, and so maybe she comes out to do something different. And I think that's what's going to lead here.
They're not prepared to make Lash a babyface yet. They're not prepared for that. That's not in the plans. I just don't see it. And I believe Lash beats Julia because they need a big body in that match. Like, the anchor of the match. They, how we said what Rusev was in was at WrestleMania just to be there.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
They need Lash to be able to help these people out because these women they might actually try some extra physical spots. I hope so. I hope they actually try some. But it's a lot of older talent in that match, so I don't know. But yeah, they're gonna need an anchor for there. And Nia Jax, she's just not gonna be believable being a ladder match. But you can believe Last Legend. She played basketball not that long ago. It's believable.
I can see. I wouldn't be. It sucks for Julia because you know how much the Joshi wrestler and all that stuff. It'll suck for her, but Last Legend going on. Look at the losing ladies in the bracket. You had Kiana lose. Now you probably have Jay did make a qualify. Who did ladies that lost on this? I had a lot of good names. Nia twice.
She lost twice. Yeah.
She lost twice. Kiana James, so forth.
Lacey
Jane was the one that pissed me off the most because, all because I understand that you're gonna have the fatal influence and you're gonna have against the Bellas and Paige, the divas. You could say the old school diva girls versus the new fatal influence. Where that goes, okay, we'll see. I don't know. The no United States title going to be defended because she's going to be in the ladder match. It's like, okay, it is kind of a weird SummerSlam card, Chris.
What about the SummerSlam card?
It's a weird one. I find it weird.
It's a very odd SummerSlam card. I'm not feeling it. It's just a lot of faces versus faces. You got Danhausen and Dominic, which I don't know how that is. I know people love Danhausen. I don't know how that is a SummerSlam match. You got it in again. I still don't like the interim stuff. But the ladder match should be fine. But again, weird competitors, especially with Tiffany. It is a weird SummerSlam.
Tiffany Stratton should be the star of that match. If she really wants to get over, she should be doing the 2 or 3 moonsaults off.
We're getting a rematch between Io and Liv. We saw a lame segment between Roman and Seth, and we're gonna see another one Monday. Or Roman wasn't even there last week, so between Seth, and then we're gonna see Roman again this Monday and another face-to-face, which I don't know what they could do or say to each other. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes didn't really feel like the animosity was that much there after what happened to Saturday night's main event. It's just it's yeah. I mean, well, it's just, on paper it looks fine, but if what's been building up over the last few weeks on TV, it's odd.
Here's some names that I'll give it to you. No Carmelo Hayes on Smack. No Carmelo Hayes and JD's man crush. JD from New York's man crush, Ilya Dragunov, not on the card. Julia might not. I don't think she's going to qualify. Could be off the card. Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, they're in the right place at the right time. Banking and they're getting a lot of television times right in where they are. They're doing great. They've never had so much TV time ever. Jordan Grace, Bray Phoenix, Fraxium. Neither one. Shinsuke Nakamura, is he still around? I mean, he's really taking the.
I haven't heard that name in a while.
I think he's preparing the catering. I think he took the Apollo crew position, head of catering department for Shinsuke Nakamura. Matt Cardona, maybe he's in the room playing with toys on SmackDown Friday nights. Ricky Saints, absolutely not on television. Ricky Saints. I mean, those are a lot of names that are getting some opportunities and not being on the card. I understand you cannot make the card 25 deep like Sunday, but damn, you got to put some. I got to say this, Chris. None of these wrestlers that we're seeing on SummerSlam, I don't want them featured for Worlds Collide. I don't need to see them cross all over the AAA. If you're going to have the AAA card with mainline rosters, give me these wrestlers that are not on SummerSlam. Fair? To a degree.
Fair to a degree, yeah.
To a degree. Let me be clear. I mean, because Dominic makes sense being on there, but they need to sprinkle and switch some of these main. If you're going to say that you're a big brand and cross-promoting, yeah. If Bailey's not on this, Bailey needs to be taking on one of the Toxicas in AAA.
Yeah. Kev, I got a question. Why does Dom still have the AAA belt?
He hasn't defended. Plain and simple.
Does he be on the show?
Yes, and he does get gets a lot of fanfare. Okay. Dominic Mysterio is really good. He's right now teaming up with El Grande. He's going to team up with El Grande Americano because Los Perros del Mal is a new fashion group, and they're going to be a tag team. He says, I'm going to protect your back because we have a title match. We have a one-on-one title match all the way up to September, but this fashion group is coming and causing havoc. I'm going to watch your back. I'm going to be your shield, quote unquote. He didn't say that. I'm paraphrasing. To protect you, and we're going to team up. We're going to take on this menacing group that reformed itself in a different brand on AAA television. So that's why Dominic is over. Now he's kind of a babyface type of role, but he's saying he's just to protect the Grande Americano for their to keep integrity to their one-on-one match. They do have kind of honor when it comes to AAA with their matches with the wrestlers one-on-one. So that's where they're trying to keep that without changing and not becoming too WWE carny. So yeah, but he's still the champion. He still gets pops and great because they like to hear him. Also, I want to say, Chris, I don't know if you watched this. The dude did one interpretation for the English group. Savio Vega only did one match and they pulled the plug immediately. He was horrible in translating.
Really?
You got to watch the last episodes of AAA, just the first match. He only did one match, and they pulled the plug immediately. It was terrible.
Like a commentator or translating?
The way
Ray was doing the translation. What?
Savio did one, and they pulled the plug, and then JBL makes light of it too. Oh, it was just oh my god! It was
I
hilarious.
I ended up watching Damian Priest's promo when they uploaded it, because they didn't do any of that shit. They just put closed captions, but whatever. I didn't need to read them. But yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks because that turns me off on wanting to check him out live because I don't. Maybe because I know Spanish, but I don't want to hear the translation. And it's late. I'm
gonna watch it on Fox Deportes at 8 o'clock. It comes on at 8 o'clock there. That's why I'm like, how the hell everybody got all these spoilers and all this shit? Because you get it on 2 hours delay.
Okay.
on the
Put your
YouTube
VPN to
channel.
Mexico and fucking put it on it. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm gonna do because if I want to listen to Spanish commentary.
Me too.
Like when I was watching the World Cup, I was listening to it on Telemundo because I wanted to listen to the Spanish.
Well, guys, let me ask you this: Are we ready for WrestleMania type of content on Saturday and Sunday? And I'm talking about with the ads. Are we prepared for it this time?
For SummerSlam?
Yes. Are we prepared for it this time? Because we hated
guess.
it. We all hated it with WrestleMania.
They have revived the NWO, but it's a new world ads. The NWA, the new world ads.
New world advertisement. Yep.
Yeah, and that's for life.
Are we going to have our timers out for our matches this time around?
For certain matches, I will have my fucking timer on for that Brock and Noble.
Look, for ESPN, you know it's going to be full of commercials and ads because it's ESPN.
Dude, ESPN sucks when it comes to that, dude. They'll go back on in the air, a timeout, refs timeout, or any sport, they'll go back commercial, yada yada. Yeah, their commercials are ridiculous, and they cannot miss a commercial break. Like,
Bro,
no.
I said this time and time again. Right now, the hottest series right now on Disney Plus for me is the X-Men 1997. And it's only 24 minutes, and golly, the amount of commercial and ads that they put in that fucking cartoon. It makes me, oh my God, it's disgusting.
That's why, and I just don't understand. And how come every single, Netflix, I don't get ads? Even for football. Or rarely I did. Maybe I take that back. I don't remember. But the point is, how come I don't get, even for, shows, you don't get ads?
Don't give them ideas.
No, but they already give you ads for WWE. And how come on the replays they're censored?
Because they
you guys take notice that the replays
they want you to watch it live. One, to watch the ads. Two, to pay for the higher tab where you don't get much ads because they're still giving you ads even in a higher tab, believe it or not. And then three, they want you to have fear of missing out.
Yeah.
But when they're censoring everything and whatever, it's just you
could watch it live. That's why. So you could have that same idea, that same disgruntledness, and now let me watch it live then because I don't want to be censored.
Oh, they're censoring everything because when they sell WWE, it's family friendly entertainment across to other countries. So when they play this in Saudi Arabia, they're not going to have that shirt that Brock Lesnar was wearing. They're not going to show that. They're not going to show the blood and all that stuff. Or they send this to India, so that's why they censor it. And they say this with every live event, you're going to get ads regardless. If it's a live event on Netflix, you're going to get these ads.
Okay.
You can get the highest tier. Any live event, you're going to get ads. So
or the ads of them promoting the podcasts that they have on Netflix or the shows or the tapes. Look, one thing that I hate, and I recommend this, it's a good series. I'm almost finished with it. Ride and Die for Amazon Prime. But fuck, Amazon Prime, even I pay for their fucking Prime show. It's a series. They gotta give me ads breaks. I'm like, I don't want ad breaks. I want the show. I want to go through the show. I don't need ad breaks, and they'll still give you ad breaks. The boys, or Gen X, all the ad breaks. Why?
Netflix is the only one that doesn't do that.
I don't want that.
Even Peacock does that shit because I watched the new series.
You click to skip it, or if you pay this much money, you get it with. I'm not. Fuck you. I pay you $150 a year for that. For Amazon Prime. What, if I get the package a day earlier? Go screw. Give me the damn show too. Come on. I understand live television, but if you got a production that got 8 to 10 episodes, don't give me ads. I don't want it. No, I don't want ads.
You got to pay $225, pal.
No. If I'm watching the show and I got to get up to go to the bathroom and go get a snack, I'll put the pause button. Don't. No. Oh, it's the ads for you. It's for you to go for you to go to drain the lizard. No.
I agree.
No. Oh, and then the one thing they cut down a little bit, but it used to be annoying. Are you still watching No, motherfucker. I haven't come up my ass.
Yo, that shit's annoying. Yeah.
I hate that. No, I'm watching. No. But anyway, that's just me. Get off my lawn. Oh, man.
Hey, Kev, I got a question for you. Well, you may not respond to this because you don't watch the show anyway. But there's a big thing that's been going on that's saying, is redemption worth the $50 price point at AEW?
I'm the perfect person to ask that, though, Haas, because I'm not the everyday diehard.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, okay, go for it. Is it worth the $50 price point?
I say it isn't because I asked this question, not because I want to be an asshole or I don't like the product. The reason why I asked this question, who's getting redeemed? What's being redeemed? What's the redemption part of this, other than that you're recognizing the Rougeau brothers, who are the French-Canadian wrestlers from the 80s? You're redeeming them into the wrestling fans' eyes because they deserve their flowers. That's the only thing that I get out of redemption. Chris, I'm going to be totally a buck with you. There's nothing they're redeeming. MJF is getting his redemption on getting his Triple B back.
I have nothing to add. I have nothing to add. You're
nothing to
100%
redeem.
on the money. You're 100% right.
The show theme doesn't entice me to want to give you my hardworking dollar.
No,
that's my answer.
I'm the diehard fan that has to cover this shit, and I don't want to watch it.
And the reason I asked, because there's a few content creators said they're not going to be spending their money to watch it because they're not getting money back from their following for it to be worth anything.
100% right.
Yeah, I saw. I think
nobody cares about this show.
Yeah, I think JD said he's not gonna watch it. He's not for the $50, and I think it was another one. I think just Alex. I think he said he's not gonna do it either. So
it is a lot of money though, because look, and I say this, and I understand their point. I'd rather spend the money for All In and watch that than pay this show that really isn't. It's just a filler. It's just a filler. That's nothing.
That's why you can't have this. That's why you can't have that. That's why I'm not excited, or I don't really want to watch it, because you can't have a fucking pay-per-view right before All In.
If you got the money for it. If you got the money, and go ahead and watch it, enjoy it. I'm not going to tell you how not to spend your hard-working money, regardless. But if you got to give the fan or people substance to want to play this, not by adding 20 matches. You have to give me something what's getting redeemed.
This is why I signed up for my AEW.
Yep.
This is the exact reason I signed up for my AEW.
I'll
pay a monthly subscription. If I don't want to watch it, I don't gotta fucking watch it. Now I'm going to, because I already paid for it, but the $19.99 or whatever it was.
Stereotype. You're gonna get great matches. Of course, these are world-class athletes. What else? What's being redemption? What's being redeemed with all these great matches? What's the redemption?
No, there's nothing.
$50 back.
We talked about this Thursday. It's the only reason I'm watching it to see if Ospreay turns heel. That's the reason I'm watching Redemption.
And is it worth
I don't give a fuck
for
about
you?
anything else.
Is it worth $50 for you?
If he turns heel, yes.
If they but you're taking, and I can say that we can say
I'm taking a risk again.
You can say that about the World Cup too. People paid $44,000 or $6,000 to be there, and it was the most boringest fucking game in the world.
Right
on that World Cup against Argentina, only 2 shots on goal. But people took the chance to pay for it. So you're one of that group that say you're willing to pay the $50 if you get that, or for the chance of it. I can understand that. I can respect that. That's the only
reason. That's the only reason. And again, thank God I'm not paying the $50 for it, but because I pay a monthly subscription for my AEW. But yes, it's just there's no story going into this pay-per-view other than Kenny and Ospreay and Moxley, which really could mean something, but right now doesn't mean a damn thing. I don't care about Kevin Knight and Kenny Omega. I don't care about a guy who's lost a championship 3 times to 2 different people and now getting another one when he's a TNT champion. I don't give a this. What, just because the pay-per-view is labeled redemption, that doesn't mean the theme means redemption. I disagree with that 100%. Again, this is a put that up again.
Yes.
I had a water bottle on my way. Just because the pay-per-view is labeled redemption doesn't mean the theme means redemption. Then why the fuck? I mean,
Why can't we call it Winter Slam on, on Summer Feast?
I hear your point. Because you don't have to match. It doesn't have to be like that all the time. Like I understand your point, but when Kenny Omega goes on Dynamite weeks before, I'm talking about how he's gonna get his redemption. What the fuck were us fans supposed to think? They made a pay-per-view show called Redemption for this reason. There was no reason for them to add another pay-per-view to the calendar. They already did that. They tried that bullshit with World's End, and now they're doing this shit right between Wembley Stadium, or what with All In at Wembley. This is it's unnecessary. We don't need this. We don't need even more now.
Chris, I will double down here. When the AEW, look at all the names of their pay-per-views. They all mean something. And
yes, you had Double or Nothing in Vegas. You had Full Gear. You have All In. This is the only show that doesn't fucking
make sense. Doesn't make sense.
Wrestle Nightmare.
Like World's End. It's the end of the end of the year.
It's the end of their cycle.
Yeah,
yes.
Revolution. It's the beginning of the
Wrestle
year.
Dream. They did Wrestle Dream to get us a dream match with Danielson. I forget who it was that year. And then you had Wrestle Dream. You had Copeland debut while they were on the ground. The theme, the lights were off. You were dreamy. Like what does they killed this whole theme when they had Kenny beat MJF at Breach Break.
And guys, let's play a game here. Hey, Kev, do you have that redemption card?
Yes, I do. I gotta get it. Hold on. It's gonna probably be on Chris's platform. Hold on a second. Let's go here. And it's gonna change a little bit there. And here it is.
All right. With the game I want to play here is let's call out the angle of each match. What is carrying every match here? All right, the Painmaker versus Ciampa. What's the angle?
Not a damn thing. The angle is that they've been fighting for the last few weeks.
Okay. Ciampa says I'm better than Jericho, and Jericho
says he's better than Jericho. What? Okay, yeah.
That's the angle there. Let's go with that one. All right, because we're gonna see if the $50 price point is worth these angles of this show. All right, Andrade and Mark Davis.
Andrade's a former Don Callis family member. He's earned his championship opportunity. And how you know that former Don Callis family member, they turned on them. Simple.
So yes, we have Andrade, who was going for the world championship just a few months ago. He had to win his match against Jake Doyle to get this match. Bad angle. So
boring.
So we're at two angles here. All right, we got the Bucks versus Osprey. That's the Death Riders versus Kobe Christian.
I have no fucking clue.
That angle
That
angle comes from Collision because
fucking Mark, you
sicko, make you boil.
You sicko. You are the Collision, you damn sicko.
Because Cope and Christian have been beefing with the Dogs and the Death Riders.
Oh my god!
So yes, that's your angle for that one. So Cope and Christian are gonna go through all the Death Riders and the Dogs. So yeah.
So give me the next one, Maya World and Akira Shida. I know damn well that's Collision.
Like your boobs.
You know that's from Collision.
Now you know that's from Collision.
Yes, Maya World. She came to save Queen. She came to save Queen Amanada from getting destroyed by Shido in her kendo stick. So Maya World got into this match from saving Queen Amanada. That's the only reason she's in this match. That's from Collision. Yes. So yes, there's your angle there. Let's keep going. We're actually missing a match on this card. We got a double chain match between Juice Robinson and Jay White versus the Dogs.
I mean, that's a pretty simple story. Former Bullet Club, New Japan, going at it.
All right, well, there's your angle there. So we got Ospreay and Mox versus the Young Bucks.
Okay, so this I'll give you a little more of a serious answer. I think it's the Young Bucks are kind of trying to protect Kenny Omega. in a way, right? Because the Death Riders, John Moxley still kind of has that thing where he wants Will Ospreay to turn on Kenny, but that's not happening right now. So Ospreay's like the middleman, and obviously the elite is elite, and they're associated with Kenny. So I think this is just to see if, again, this is probably the match out of all the matches on the card. This has the most story out of it, because if the Death Riders win, that makes me more excited and more positive that they could do the heel turn at the end of the card. Again, the angle I shitted on it on Wednesday, but they ended the angle with this leading up to that. So I know I'm all over the place because this is all over the place, but I think this could be the match that has the most storyline. Again, I think it's the Young Bucks coming to the aid of Kenny, and then I think the Death Riders hopefully beat the Bucks, and then they turn on Kenny. But that match has something there. I will say that.
I would agree with Aaron here. That last comment he has a little merit there. He said Ospreay will be too weak in Moxley's eyes because he won't turn on Omega.
Oh my God! You killed Kenny.
I can buy into that.
I can buy into that as well. Yes,
so,
I can buy into that.
So let's go to our next match. Well, we actually missing 2 matches on this card.
A ladder match that nobody gives a fuck about.
Yeah, you have to watch Collision with me tonight to see who gets in there, Chris.
There's nothing. There's nothing going on tonight. I might, unless I go to I'm going to the fair. There's a local fair here. I'd rather go eat some funnel cakes and get fat than watch.
Well, you know what?
Doesn't that just make you boil?
Since there's no buy-in, there's no buy-in matches. Watch Collision before Redemption tomorrow.
Not yet. There's still plenty of time, pal. They still got 24 to 48 hours to load up.
I'll watch the highlights.
Okay, there you go.
If I'm not doing anything, I'll watch Collision.
Okay.
How about that? If I'm not doing anything at 8 o'clock, I'll watch Collision. I'll report back. I will send you a picture of me watching Collision.
Be there with your old lady. Go watch it at the home theater you be talking about. Go watch it with her at the home theater.
I don't know if that's Collision worthy. That's for the big events. That's for the big events. That's for games and movies and actual events. I don't know about fucking Collision.
Okay, let's finish this card up. Okay, next match we got Bandito versus the Proto Star.
Bandito's not even involved in the fucking Don Callis family. I don't even know why they're feuding.
Sir, Bandito.
Don't say Collision.
No, not Collision. This is not a Collision Cowboy experiment. Bandito, he interrupted a Fletcher promo with the most wanted poster and stuck it on Fletcher's chest.
Right. That's right. Yes.
There's your angle.
You're right. Yes, yeah. And then the angle for Tekla and Willow is Willow won the
No, the real angle here is Tekla's going to expose Tony Khan for giving Willow that break when she wasn't hurt. She was healthy the whole time. Tekla should go there and prove that. Oh,
they're not that creative.
They're not. That's what I need.
The storyline is that Willow won the fucking Owen. There you go.
Will Washington, do you hear it? You should listen to this show. You should listen to it.
He does. That's why he won't give me credentials.
Because Tekla and Willow, if you play on that angle right there, when Tekla was drunk on the air and exposed to everyone, she says, I don't even think Willow was really hurt.
Drunk Tekla is more interesting than anything I've seen recently.
Yes, drunk Tekla, she exposes all the dumb bitches. I want her drunk on every TV show. I will give her some Mississippi bourbon for every TV show.
And now, Hoss, give me something for this main event. I have no fucking clue where the end your game, because I cannot give you the main event match, the biggest fucking match on this card, and I cannot give you an answer on what the angle is.
The angle here is to make a star out of Kevin Knight, and we're gonna give Kenny Omega a John Cena send off. He's gonna go on a tour of going against all the young rising stars of AEW until he loses to Ospreay.
Did you just say? Hold up. Did you just say that this is to build Kevin Knight into a star?
That's what I said. That's what I said. That's the best way I can put it.
They could be doing that already.
They could trust me. I said it.
They should have been doing this after Double or Nothing.
I agree with you.
He should be the star by beating Darby Allin at Redemption. But no, how the fuck are are they building a star out of Kevin Knight when he's already lost 2 championship matches?
You got to hear me out here. Do you remember when Swerve said he earned the trust of Tony Khan? You remember that?
Oh yeah, look where the fuck Swerve's at right now.
I'm catering.
I love Swerve. I love Swerve. But look what he's doing. He should be one of the major players going into this to Wembley.
Who's catering?
He ain't doing shit.
Because I remember Tony Khan saying he trusted Swerve after that Forbidden Door match, the first one with Will Ospreay. He said, "Oh, I can trust him."
Oh yeah,
yeah. I believe this is the same thing with Kevin Knight. This is the end of his internship, of his Tony Khan internship. You know, the 6 to 9 months until you have to lose. Yeah, this is the end of the internship. Kevin Knight has been given the ball, and he's gonna probably win the world championship sometime next year. It's gonna happen.
I'm sorry, I don't see it. I know a lot of people see Kevin Knight as this thing. I do not.
But
I think he has a good look. I think he's a good wrestler. But I don't see it.
But
I don't see it. You know how Bully and all these fucking people say it's IT. It's. I don't see it.
But Chris, the whole goal of that game was to say how much do you think that card is worth? I'd say $30.
I say like $18.99.
How about this for $1?
$18.99.
The highest I'll go is $30 for that card.
No, the highest I'll go. The highest I'll go is $25.
$9.99. $10.
I'll say 17, and I'll pay 25 because there's no fucking way this is a $50 card. There's one angle to come out of it that probably if Ospreay turns heel, I will say it was worth $50. Until then, if this shit just goes off the air and let's go to Wembley, bruv. Let's go show him my AEW is the best wrestle, bruv. Yeah, I'm good. Bruv. I don't want to fucking see it.
Marie, you're right. Kevin Knight is still green. And this is AEW. Characters don't matter here. That's why
I'm not gonna miss shit because I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I'll be watching too, Aaron.
I'll be watching it. I ain't missing shit. I'm gonna be watching garbage, but I'll be watching.
I'll be going to sleep.
But
lucky you, I gotta go to work early as shit the next morning.
This is why Leo Rush is taking over this whole company, because we are so refreshed when we see great characters.
Yeah, and where the fuck has he been?
He's been on a world tour.
He's fine.
With
He's
Shotzi.
fine.
It's fine.
With Shotzi?
With Shotzi Blackheart. Yeah, they did intergender matches and whatnot. They're doing wild stuff.
What garbage? Let me guess. Garbage can wrestling.
I don't know if it's GCW. I just
that promotion's fucking terrible. Oh my god.
Oh, now this is hilarious. Wrestlers in AEW are authentic. It's a work, Aaron. None of these guys are authentic. It's a work.
It's a work. They're all not real people. They're not really who they are. No one. The most MJF isn't even authentic.
And Marie is right.
AEW's not. Right. See, again, this is where this MFer tries to twist up my words. I didn't say AEW was garbage. Go back and fucking watch what I said. I said this pay-per-view is garbage. I go back and watch my Double or Nothing review if you still think I think this shit's garbage, kid. Stop twisting my words every time I say something.
Oh.
Doodles.
But yeah, Marie was right. The same matches you're gonna see on this pay-per-view will be on Dynamite and Collision. That's a fact. That is it.
So is it worth paying that 50, 40, 39.99 or 49?
Oh,
no, that was the main idea.
We got to do that more often. We got to do it.
Yes. Yeah. Let's make that a staple.
We got to make that a segment. I agree.
Yes. Is it worth your $50?
I agree 100%. That is a new segment here. Even on Wednesdays, we'll do that. Fuck Collision preview. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I just did that to clown it.
Let me ask this: when the show is over, what's the main thing we're gonna be? What's the main complaint
The main
of
complaint.
redemption.
The main complaint. You're not going to have many complaints because most.
My
sickos
complaint
are
was
reasonable.
that. Oh, my big complaint is
It's going to be the same. It's going to be the same complaint. This shit was too long.
Oh yeah, I'm not even gonna. And you know what sucks? I probably won't even get I probably will, but I swear if I stay up till 1 a.m. and Osprey nothing's happened, I'm gonna be very pissed. And again, this is where the Sunday pay-per-views. This is where I can't wait for football season.
His Saturday's coming. He announced a couple Saturday shows, pay-per-views,
Oh,
which
Hoss,
now
it's
I
gonna
could be
be so
now
good
I could be
reviewing
part of it.
Michigan on Sunday.
As long as AEW stays on Sundays, I'm out. I'm not watching them. If they're on Saturdays, I could watch. I could casually give you my opinion as a casual. Sundays, I'm out. I'm not watching it. I'm not.
It's hard.
Dude, and I'm not gonna lie. There's times I'm getting up from work, putting on my clothes, and JD's still reviewing this.
I'm not
At
gonna
3
lie.
o'clock in the morning.
When starting the week before I go to the beach, I have to. I'm on a new schedule too, and I'm gonna have to wake up around the same time. And yeah, if people are still gonna be live.
Mm-hmm.
Not me. I can't. I'm not.
He's starting an hour early on Sunday.
That means he's got an hour longer.
Yeah, he's right. I have no faith that he's gonna. Again, go back to New York.
6. Yeah.
6 your time.
No, 6 here and 5 central.
The buy-in starts at 6.
Oh no.
The buy-in
disappointed. I guess they don't have hot dogs or Costco's in Montreal.
I just can't wait for Redemption to be over with. If I'm being quite honest, and get to it fucking all in.
Here's the guy sad. He's sad.
Well, he's the.
I think he's right on. I think he's right on a lot of the stuff he says.
He's the saddest of the saddest of the saddest. Maybe he goes in his car and don't do a video and get it.
I just ask for more than just angles. That's it. Like
I ask for more than matches.
Yeah, I will never snooze on the matches from AEW. The matches they're great. They're great. We get great wrestling every week. They just have to be. You have to have a little more to make me invested. That's all. No one ever said All Elite Wrestling was bad wrestling. No one's ever said that.
No, it's just not for certain people. That's all.
I love AEW.
It's not for everyone. They have their niche. The casual. We said that we'll say that all the time.
Yeah,
we always say that.
Sound like it, but I love it. It's my favorite. Not my favorite right now. I would say to watch and all that. The pay-per-views at least this year have been very fun to watch. I love it. I've loved it since day one. But I'm not like a lot of you sickos
for the most part
that want to get in bed with Tony Khan.
All Elite Wrestling, when you do spend your money on their shows on the pay-per-view, you are going to get money's worth. You're going to get a value for what it is, regardless of the fact. I got to give that credit as a person who doesn't like the company, doesn't like the owner, all that stuff. The money that you do invest on a pay-per-view, you do get quality for the show.
Yeah,
it might not make sense at the moment. It's entertaining, but it's a little bit long. But you still get good quality for your money. You got to give them the credit on what credit is due.
Yeah, well said. We'll see what happens. But again, I'm don't take my criticisms as I hate it or shitting on it. I'm just, again, a lot of sickos out there that want to get in bed with Tony. I'm not one of them. I never have been, never will be.
Well, that, and of course, don't forget, guys, big announcement, of course, don't forget Mondays at 6:00, your MLW files with Mr. Jeff Lippman and, of course, Mr. Thomas from MLW. They will be breaking down everything from Fusion that's going to happen tonight, all the different things. They'll be covering that from nuts and bolts, of course. Then tomorrow, Sunday, there's a nice one. If it's not wrestling related, it's a Greek mythology and on the Garden of Thoughts with Jeff Lippman. He has a guest that he has on, a professor that will be conversating about all different things from Greek mythology. Of course, if you watch the Odyssey, if you watch that, you should listen to this conversation. It's going to be a fun one with Jeff. He brings on some good guests. It's not just from the wrestling world, outside of the wrestling world, from all different, we have had some mental health lawyers, some advice from, you had the methodical creatures. So something a little bit eclectic, different from professional wrestling. And of course, the Out of Character podcast, where you see all the different Hollywood. We had the Hollywood director, Matt Parenza, joined us and talked about I Dream of Pizza movie that he has in the works that we can't wait to see it come to the screen. And of course, we had Amber Brooke, who does the Scream Queen type, but we call her the new Scream Queen of all the horror movies there and all good stuff there. So don't get a lot of different things. Of course, the watch-alongs. I think Mega Mets will be doing his watch-alongs with Mets and Dodgers tomorrow night, as well as the Noah, Pro Wrestling Noah, the Redemption show, and all that good stuff as well. Don't forget Talking the League. The guys come on and do their thing. We'll talk about the NBA League, everything that's happening, all the ins and outs. LeBron definitely got his team to wish for. They'll be talking about that. I'm pretty sure they talked about it last night. They broke all that down. You could catch that there. And, of course, all the different things here. We're looking where in the world. You know how there's Carmen Sandiego? Where in the world is Luke Menzies? So we were putting an APA out to Luke Menzies. Our guy is wrestling the independent scene out in Europe, in UK. So we want to see where he's at. And hopefully he gets us some videos, some follows. And find out where Luke Menzies is. And I can't wait to hear what Vinny Pacifico and Jeff Lippman and the Out of Podcast next guests, what they bring up. So I'm intrigued, I'm excited, and I'm having fun behind the scenes listening to all the different things from the Garden of Thoughts, from the Dynamite Bros, our podcast, the Padawan, here, the Jedi, Sports Jedi Weekly Wrestling, all that good stuff there. And we did not leave out because we want to get more details. I believe Janelle Grant dropped a lawsuit on Vince McMahon, but we'll get more once we have more information. That's for next week, a little bit of a teaser, or throughout the week, because I don't have that much information. I don't want to go in there. I'm jumping blind, and maybe we'll have Jeff Lippman join us if he's available. We'd love to hear what that means and where that goes forward. And with that said, enjoy the rest of your afternoon, man. We appreciate everyone. We thank our sponsors, Marine Shadows. And don't forget the Square Circle podcast. So Aaron Loves Wrestling podcast. We had Alex Coquito, the PWF and the Rican Reaction podcast. We got our guy Jeff Lippman in the building. Shotzi is great. Everybody likes Shotzi. And all that good stuff. Don't forget, we still continue to climb. Thank you guys. We're over 100 subscribers on this YouTube channel. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching, for tuning in, the comments, share, all that good stuff. Follow PGA's Chris. You see all his handles. Also, he does some Steelers stuff on his channel. Please follow, as well as Haas Knuckle Brew. We're going to be seeing more on the Haas Knuckle Brew on a regular here, more and more with different programs, different things, all that good stuff. May the sports be with you guys. Enjoy the Saturday. Que Dios lo bendiga a todos.
It's still real to me, damn it. I mean, thank you.
Take it easy, man.
Thank y'all guys. You're awesome.